Sergeant Carter reporting his order, sir.
At ease. Sergeant, how fast can you get your gear packed and be ready to move out?
Move out, sir. Am I being transferred?
Yes. This morning we got a memo from headquarters regarding the new recruiting drive. They want experienced platoon sergeants to man the recruiting booths.
Yes, sir.
They're out to top last year's record, Sergeant, and they feel that a career man can best reflect the image of the Corps.
Well, I haven't had much experience in recruiting, sir, but if I'm needed...
You're being assigned to Hollywood, one of our most vital areas.
Hollywood, sir? Do you mean I'll be stationed in Hollywood?
That's right. Does it appeal to you?
Yes, sir.
Like I was saying, kid, in the Marines, we got what we call esprit de corps. Now, in plain English, that means spirit, honor, pride. So it's not a question of whether you want to join the Marines or not. It's a question of whether you're good enough.
Okay, Sergeant. Sounds good. Where are those papers?
They're right here. Just sign your name. Yeah. Congratulations, pal. You're practically on the team. Now, here. You take this paper. There's a Jeep waiting on the corner. It'll take you down to the Federal Building where they give you your physical. And good luck to you, buddy. Hey, Navy! Navy! That's number 5, and it ain't even noon yet. Eat your heart out, swab jockey. Don't give up the ship.
Surprise, surprise, surprise. I just knew you'd be surprised to see me, Sergeant. I just knew it. You are surprised, aren't you? You sure look surprised.
What are you doing here, Pyle? How did you get here?
If you're worried about me being AWOL, Sergeant, I got a pass.
Never mind your past. What are you doing in Hollywood?
It was fate, Sergeant. Just a stroke of fate. I was down in Oceanside this morning just wandering around looking for something to do, and they was fixing the street, and I watched the steamroller for a while. Then I decided to go over to the drugstore and weigh myself, and I dropped a penny in, and out popped this card, and guess what it said?
I don't know, Pyle.
173 pounds, and you're going to go visit a friend. And I thought, well, who in the world could that be? Then I happened to think of you, Sergeant, up here recruiting, so I hopped the bus and decided to pay you a visit. It was fate, just like I said.
Yeah, it was fate, all right. Well, you've had your visit, Pyle, and I know you're anxious to get back, so I'll be seeing you.
Well, to tell you the truth, Sergeant, after that 2-hour bus ride, I was kind of planning on a little longer visit.
Well, do some sightseeing. Take a walk in the tar pit.
I seen the tar pit, Sergeant. Remember I sent you that postcard?
Then go to the Hollywood Wax Museum and talk to the dummies. Go take a walk on the freeway. Go do something. Just beat it.
If you say so, Sergeant. I just wish there was something around here I could do to help you out.
And listen, Pyle, one of the reasons I took this assignment was to get away from knuckleheads like you. Now beat it. Oh, good morning, pal. You interested in joining up? Well, here, why don't you take a look at some of my literature?
Thanks, Sergeant. I'm thinking about it.
Well, pal, it's just like the sign says. The Marines build men.
Yeah, Sergeant, but I've heard the training's pretty rugged, and I'm not much in the muscle department.
Oh, the Marines don't care about that. When you finish boot camp, you'll be a new man. You'll have your chest out, your shoulders back, your head high. You'll have muscles you never even knew you had. Now, what do you think you're doing?
I was just showing him what the Marines could do for a person. I used to be skinny myself. Do you remember how I looked, Sergeant, when I showed up? Boy, I was a mess. I was round-shouldered and spendy and all out of shape. But you know what did it for me? Push-ups. Hundreds and hundreds of push-ups. But don't you worry. I thought that I was just going to collapse. I had to do so many push-ups. I thought I'd never make it. But I did, and I'm glad I did, and you will be too.
Pyle.
The obstacle course. Did you ever hear about the obstacle course?
It's tough?
Is it ever? First time I ever tried it, I wrenched my shoulders by just going over the wall, and then I fell in the water ditch, and I got my feet all tangled up in the cargo net, and I was a sight. But don't you worry about it.
Excuse us, pal. Pyle, come here. Pyle, you numbskull, what are you trying to do, ruin a prospect?
I just want to let that fella know what to expect. I was just helping you out, that's all.
Well, don't help out. Just get out of here now.
But, Sergeant...
No buts. Just get out of here. He's gone. Where'd he go?
He went over there, Sergeant. Now, I wonder what made him want to switch over to the Army.
Yeah, I wonder. Pyle, you knucklehead, we're trying to set an enlistment record, and you just cost us a man.
Sergeant, I'm sorry. I just thought I was trying to
Pyle,
help.
get out of here. You understand? Get out of here. Take a bus, a train, I don't care. Just get out of here. I'm wanting you out of the city.
But, Sergeant...
Pyle, I'm going to count to 10, and you better be gone. 1, 2, 3, 4. Downtown recruiting booth, Sergeant Carter speaking. Oh, Lieutenant Johnson. What's that, sir? How long, sir? Oh. Well, what do I do about the stand, sir? Right. Nuts, there goes another hour or more of valuable recruiting time.
What are you doing, Sergeant?
I'm closing up, that's what I'm doing. Headquarters wants me to check on a recruit I signed up this morning.
That's a shame. You have to close up, do you?
That's right, Pyle.
Gee, Sergeant, if nobody's here and somebody shows up, we're liable to lose another man to the Army.
I know. You don't have to tell me that, Pyle.
Well, that's a shame, Sergeant, with you trying to break the recruiting record and all. There must be something you can do. Wait a minute, Sergeant. I'm not doing anything. How about it?
No.
Well, you would...
No, I said no. N-O, it's out. No, never.
Would you like to think about it?
Well, I would have to have rocks in my head to let you think over here. Now, forget it.
But, Sergeant, I'd just be sitting here, and if anybody come along, I could just tell them to wait until you got back. Please, Sergeant, I feel bad enough, causing you to lose that other man and all.
Pyle, I told you.
But I wouldn't say a word, Sergeant. I'd just sit here and maybe hand out some literature and just tell them to wait until you got back. That way we won't lose another man to the Army, Sergeant, please.
You just tell them to wait? You won't do any recruiting? You won't try to sign anybody up?
No, Sergeant. I just hand them out some literature, and that's all.
Yeah, well, maybe you could just keep the booth open until I get back. Wait a minute, let's just be sure. Repeat this after me, Pyle. I'm sorry, you'll have to wait. Sergeant Carter will be back shortly. Say that.
I'm sorry, you'll have to wait. Sergeant Carter will be back shortly.
Again, Pyle.
I'm sorry, you'll have to wait. Sergeant Carter will be back shortly.
Now, do you think you can remember that?
Sure, Sergeant.
Good. Now I'll type it out for you.
Hey there.
Oh, hi. Could you give me some information?
I'm sorry, you'll have to wait. Sergeant Carter will be back shortly.
Yeah, well, I just want to ask you a few questions about the Marines.
I'm sorry, you'll have to wait. Sergeant Carter will be back shortly.
What is it, a recording?
You want to know about the Marines?
Yeah, I do.
Well, I'm not supposed to tell you anything, but come here. Now, this is off the record, but if you want to join the service, the Marines is about the best branch there is. You couldn't go wrong. But don't tell anybody I told you.
Don't tell anybody?
No, on account of I'm not supposed to try to recruit you or sign you up.
You're not?
No, but the Marines are the best, and if I was you, I'd join up. But remember, mum's the word. You got it?
Yeah, I got it.
Well, good.
This is candid camera, right? And yo, what's his name? Hey, where's the camera? Is that the camera back there? How's that? That's part of the gag, right?
Wait a minute, search, fella.
I'm just gonna go take a look. I'll try to get back to you later.
Well, if you wait, Sergeant Carter can explain it to you. Hey there. If you're interested in joining the Marines, you'll have to wait. Sergeant Carter will be back shortly. You see, I'm just watching this place for my sergeant, and he'll be back in just a few minutes. If you don't mind waiting.
I don't think I can wait.
Oh, well, please wait, sir. Sergeant Carter will be right back, and he'll explain it all to you. And I'm sure you'll want to sign up with the Marines.
What happens if I sign up? What then? Do I move right out?
Oh, yes, sir. You go right down to the federal building and have your physical, and then before you know it, they ship you right out to the boot camp down in San Diego.
San Diego, huh? That take me right down to San Diego?
Yes, sir. That's the induction depot.
Okay, good. Give me the papers. I'll sign right up.
Well, I'd love to sign you up, but I'm not supposed to do that. Can't you wait?
No, I can't wait. Look, you don't want me? I'll go right over there to the Army or the Navy.
Now, wait a minute. Please don't do that. I'm not allowed to do this, but rather than lose you to the Army or the Navy, well, I will.
Okay, but make it snappy, huh?
Yes, sir. I guess the best thing to start out with here would be your name.
Smith. John Smith.
Smith. John Smith. That's a nice, easy name for everybody to remember. Let's see now, John. If you'll just sign right here, then they'll fill out the rest of it for you. Now, you go right down yonder to that Jeep, and they'll take you down to the federal building. Well, congratulations, John Smith. I know your folks will be real proud of you when they've heard what you've done. On behalf of the Marine Corps, wish you a world of luck. Hey, officer. All those sirens I heard a while back, what was that all about?
There was a bank robbery just a few minutes ago.
A bank robbery?
Yeah, the National Bank. Happened just up the street.
Well, did they catch a robber?
No, but they will.
Hey, Sergeant, guess what? You'll never guess what happened.
Don't tell me you recruited the cop.
No, Sergeant, there was a robbery, and the robber's still loose.
Yeah? Well, what about here? Did anybody stop by?
Well, as a matter of fact, there was one customer.
Yeah? Well, where is he? Did you tell him to wait?
Well, he was in such a hurry, Sergeant, that...
That what, Pyle? What?
Well, I had to sign him up myself.
You what?
Well, he was going over to the Navy, and we'd already lost one man, Sergeant, so...
Give me that. John Smith.
Did I do the right thing, Sergeant, did I?
Well, yes and no, Pyle. You disobeyed an order. But if it meant losing a recruit, well, I guess you did do right. Hey, you know, with this John Smith guy and the ones I signed up this morning, I'm doing pretty darn good.
Well, that's wonderful, Sergeant. Well, it's getting chow time, so I think I'll go get me a bite to eat.
Yeah, you do that, Pyle.
Don't you worry, though, Sergeant. I'll be right back just as soon as I finish.
You don't have to bother, Pyle.
Big bank hold-up. Yeah, get your paper here. Big bank hold-up. Hey, extra. Read all about it. Big bank robbery. Read all about it.
Downtown bank robbery. Do you know this happened right near where I was recruiting? Just down the block.
Yeah, how about that?
Yep, this is it. The robbery took place during the noontime rush hour. The bank cashier reported that the gunman was of medium height, wore dark glasses. He stuffed the money in a black leather bag, fled from the bank, and disappeared in the downtown crowd. Medium height, dark glasses, and carried a black bag. Now, where have I seen that? Shazam!
Yes, sir. Going real good, sir. I've signed up 8 new recruits so far.
Sergeant Carter.
Quiet, Pyle. I'm on the phone. Oh, thank you, sir. Well, I was just doing my duty, sir. All right. Goodbye.
Sergeant?
Pyle, what do you want? What did you come back for?
Well, Sergeant, I just had to see you.
No, okay, so you're back. Well, even you can't spoil this. That was the captain. I broke the recruiting record in this area. How about that?
That's wonderful, Sergeant. Congratulations.
And I hate to admit it, but it was that Smith guy you signed up that put me over the top.
Well, that's what I had to see you about, Sergeant. That John Smith feller, I got my reasons to be suspicious about him.
Suspicious? What are you talking about?
Well, I may be wrong, Sergeant. In fact, I hope I am wrong. But according to the afternoon paper here, the bandit that held up the bank had a marked resemblance to that John Smith. And it happened real close by, Sergeant. And right after the sirens went off, this feller came up real anxious to join up.
What? Give me that. Where does it say anything about that Smith character? Where?
Right there.
The gunman was of medium height, dark glasses, and carried a black bag?
That's him, Sergeant. That description fits him to a T, the man I recruited.
No.
Of course, I have my doubts. Why would a bank robber want to join the Marines?
Why? I'll tell you why. For a hideout, that's why. The police probably have a dragnet thrown around the entire city. And a Marine induction depot would be the perfect place for him to hide out. He'll probably lay low at the base until the heat's off, and then he goes AWOL.
AWOL? Then he'll really be in trouble.
No, I'll be the one in trouble when they find out that my office recruited a bank robber.
I just feel terrible, Sergeant. Why didn't I let him join the Navy?
John Smith, when they hear about this, I'll be the laughingstock. Carter, the hoodlum recruiter. The sergeant with a pipeline to the mafia.
They'll get him, Sergeant. They're bound to get him sooner or later.
Yeah, Pyle, but the idea is to get him before he gets sworn in as a Marine, so I won't look like a dumbbell, you dumbbell.
We'll just have to go down to the Federal Building and get him before he finishes taking his physical.
Get him? How?
Well, we'll just walk in and ask for John Smith, that's all.
That's all. A guy on the lam, and you just go in and ask for him by name. Brilliant.
Well, then we'll just have to go down...
John Smith was a phony name to begin with. He's probably changed it again by now.
Well, then I'll just have to try and recognize
You
him,
really
Sergeant.
have to try, Pyle. You really have to.
Golly, would you look at that, Sergeant?
Which one is he, Pyle? Do you see him? Point him out.
Well, I don't know, Sergeant. In all that underwear, they all look alike.
All right, you men, let's keep it moving. Those of you who've had your eye test, report for X-ray.
Sergeant, look, over there. That black bag.
Huh?
That's him, Sergeant. That's him. I'd know that black bag anywhere.
So what's a black bag? There's a lot of black bags.
But that's it. That's really it, Sergeant. I know for sure. Come on.
Pyle?
Shame, shame, shame. Huh? Thought you was really being clever, didn't you?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Can we see your papers?
And calling yourself John Smith. I bet that's not even your name, John.
Well, it isn't. It's Howard Goldsmith.
You were right, Sergeant. He did change it again.
Goldsmith, what are you doing here?
I tell you what he's doing here, Sergeant. He's hiding from the police, is what?
He's what?
That's right. He's a robber, a fugitive from justice. Just look in that black bag and see what you find. Just look in there and see what you find.
There's nothing in here but books.
Books. Advanced study of molecular physics. Liquid versus solid propellants. These are textbooks.
What is this, Sergeant? Goldsmith here's an honor graduate from Caltech. He's being processed and sent directly to officers' training school.
Officers' training? Pyle!
Golly, Sergeant, if you ask me, I think we owe Goldsmith here an apology. And maybe even a salute.
Sorry, Goldsmith.
Me too. I'm just as sorry as I can be,
Oh,
gentlemen.
come on, Pyle.
It was a terrible mistake, Sergeant, and I feel just heartsick about it.
Don't talk to me, Pyle. Just don't talk to me of all the stupid mistakes.
Well, he's got to be in this building somewhere. I just know it, Sergeant. Maybe he's taking one of those written examinations. Why don't we check?
I'll do the checking. You stay here. You made enough trouble for one day.
All right, Sergeant, if you feel like you can do better without me. I'll just stay here and keep my eyes peeled.
Yeah, and keep your mouth shut.
What's going on? Sergeant Carter, what are you doing? I got the bandit. Grab his bag.
Are you out of your
I gotta
mind?
get him out the door.
Will you have somebody?
A stethoscope.
What did you expect to find, you idiot? I'm Dr. Ferguson of the VA. I was on my way to surgery.
A doctor?
Yeah, of course he's a doctor, Pyle. I'm sorry, sir. You see, he thought you were a fugitive.
Fugitive? You're the only ones who are fugitives around here. Now, let me tell you this. If I ever see either of you again, I'll have you committed for observation.
I know, Pyle. You're sorry. You're very sorry. Well, I don't have time. The processing officer just told me that 2 truckloads of recruits left earlier for the induction depot, and I'm going to try to catch them.
Well, you still hadn't heard it from me, Sergeant. I'm just as sorry as I can be.
Come on! Come on!
Look, Sergeant, up ahead, up ahead.
big idea, Sergeant. Are you bucking for an accident?
This is an emergency. You current Marines back there?
Well, yeah, but...
Yeah, then get them out, every one of them.
Oh, now listen,
Come on,
Sergeant.
that's an order. Never mind. Let's go.
And watch yourself, too. One of them might be a fugitive and try to make a break for it.
Sergeant, are you...
Just get them out of the truck.
Okay in there. Everybody out of the truck.
I'll make it on the double.
And that means you, John Smith, or whatever your name is.
All right, out here. What's a big idea?
That's what I was trying to tell you, Sergeant. It's a detachment of women Marines just back from assignment.
You satisfied?
You think he's already at the induction center, Sergeant? Is that what you're thinking?
No, Pyle, that's not what I was thinking.
Because if he is, Sergeant, I'll find him for you. I'll find him if he kills me.
That's what I was thinking.
All right. You have all passed your physicals. You are now ready to be sworn in.
Look, Sergeant, they're about to take their oath.
I know, Pyle, I know.
Let's see now if I can just spot somebody with a black bag.
Forget the bags, Pyle. We've had enough of you and your black bags. Now just look for the crook.
Sergeant?
Yeah?
Look, there it is. There's the black bag.
Huh? Pyle, I told you.
And Sergeant, the hat.
Well, that still doesn't mean that...
And the glasses, Sergeant, the dark glasses.
Huh?
And that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution, and that I will obey the orders of the...
Excuse me, sir.
Sergeant, what's the meaning of this? At ease, men. You. I want to see you in my office.
What's the matter, Captain? What have I done?
In the office. All right. Go ahead, Sergeant.
Well, if we can just check the bag, sir.
Well, sure.
It's empty, Sergeant.
Empty? It's empty, Pyle. There's nothing in it.
Now, if we can just get along with the induction.
But, Sergeant, I just know he's the criminal. I do. Why don't you admit... Look, Sergeant, the money. He had it.
You're right, Pyle. It's him. It's Private Smith.
All right. Sure enough, he is. Guess this is what you call a real honest-to-goodness shakedown, huh, Sergeant?
Yes, indeed. It was a job well done. And the fact that the hold-up man is in custody and scheduled for sentencing is due directly to your alertness.
Well, thank you, sir. It was just a simple matter of tracking him down.
The only thing I regret, sir, is because of that crook, Sergeant Carter missed breaking the recruiting record.
Nevertheless, you did such a fine job during the time you were up there. We'd like you to take another crack at it.
You mean I'll be going back to Hollywood, sir?
Yes, for another week. Between the two of you, you should do very well.
The two of us, sir?
Yes, you and Pyle.
Pyle, sir? With me?
You work so well together. Headquarters wants to keep you as a team.
Well, isn't that wonderful? We're a team.
Oh, now that's right, Eleanor. You've got the idea. Good. Fine. Oh, yes, lovely, Estelle. Be careful of your neck now. Fine. Gomer, your rug's going to be just lovely.
Thank you, Miss Whipple.
Now, I told you before. We're on a first-name basis here. And my name is Clarice.
I'm sorry, I forgot, Clarice.
That's better. You know, Gomer, when I see how beautifully you do this, it just proves to me that men can be just as good rug hookers as women.
Well, thank you, ma'am, but I've done this before. Grandma taught me how to hook rugs when I was just a little feller. Grandma Pyle used to always say, busy fingers, stay at home, hadn't got the time to roam.
Oh, that's so true.
Yeah, but she never could get Grandpa to try it. He was always roaming.
Is that so? Gomer, do you think perhaps some of your pals over at the Post might enjoy joining us some Sunday?
Well, golly, I really don't think so.
I don't see why not. Do you know that many top business executives do this as therapy? They find there's nothing better to help them unwind and soothe their nerves.
Well, I don't think the fellas at the base would... I hate to say this, but if they knew what I was doing, I think they'd just laugh.
Oh, really? Oh, that's too bad. Oh, my, look at the time. Well, it's time to wrap it up, girls. Almost 4 o'clock. Now, I'll see you all next Sunday, and don't forget to give Irma your quarter for the lemonade and cookies. Oh, let me help you, Estelle.
Hey, what about that guy in the sweater?
No, he's too short. Besides, he's not the right type.
Hey, there's a couple of guys.
Nah, they're not right either. Look, I keep telling you the kind of a guy I want. A hayseed, you know, right off the farm. Naive, innocent, you know.
What do you want a guy like that for, Mike?
Because of the contrast. Look, don't you understand? The thing that'll make this work is a guy that looks like he doesn't know what's going on. Hey, look.
Huh? Where? But he's a Marine.
So what?
Well, guy in uniform, you think you'll want to do this?
Well, we won't tell him exactly what we're going to do. Just leave him to me. Hey, Marine. How are you? My name's Mike Bender. This is my assistant, Wendell.
How are you, kid?
Well, fine. My name's Gomer Pyle.
No kidding. Well, I'm pleased to meet you, Gomer. Look, my friend and I are taking some pictures down here for a layout. A picture story, you know what I mean?
Well, no, not exactly.
Well, you see, we want to show people doing something, so we take a series of pictures to illustrate it.
Oh, you mean like in National Geographic when they show people planting rice or washing clothes in the river?
Yeah. That's it. Only our idea is to show people having fun in their leisure time.
Oh, well, that should really be good.
And we'd like to have a fellow just like you.
Yeah, a great, big, good-looking Marine.
Golly.
You see, we want to show how a Marine has fun on Sunday.
Well, I don't usually do very much on Sunday.
Well, that's all right. You see, we're just going to kind of pretend. It's what we call literary license. You know what I mean?
No.
Oh. I tell you what, don't you worry about it, because it's all good, clean fun. Now, Gomer, you don't object to a little good, clean fun, do you?
Oh, golly, no, I love it.
Well, that's all that matters. And besides that, Gomer, we're going to give you $20.
Oh, well, you don't have to do that.
Well, why not? If this idea is accepted, we can make a few bucks off of it. Why shouldn't you share in it, too?
Oh, well, I'll be glad to help you out if you like, but you don't have to give me anything for it.
I told you he was the right guy the minute I laid eyes on him.
Oh.
Now, just like you're catching a beach ball. You see, when the picture's finished, there'll be a beach ball in your hands.
There will? How can you do that?
Trick photography, Gomer. We can do a lot of things. You'd be surprised.
Hold it. That's right. Just like you're playing horsey. Hold it.
Well, shouldn't I have a rider?
Don't worry, you'll have a rider. Now, hold it.
All right, Gomer, just like you're playing leapfrog.
Sure seems funny playing leapfrog alone. You sure you fellas know what you're doing?
We do. Don't worry, Gomer. We do. Hold it.
All right, now in this one, you're a real happy Marine. You own the whole beach. Throw out your arms.
Are you sure this looks like I'm having fun?
Don't worry, it will when we finish with it.
Are you going to put another ball in my hand?
Yeah, you'll be having a ball.
Okay, hold it. Perfect.
Well, that was wonderful, Gomer. We got some real good pictures, and you were great, really great.
Sure, Gomer. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, now, if you'll just sign this, everything will be all right.
Sign that?
Yeah.
Well, what's it for?
Oh, it's just a release, Gomer, to give us permission to use your pictures.
It's just one of those things that's required if a guy's picture is published.
Yeah, so people won't think we're taking advantage of it. Here, sign.
Well, I sure never would do that.
Yeah, that's good, Gomer. Now, here's your $20.
Oh, no, I really don't want that.
Well, come on, take it. You deserve it. Buy yourself a milkshake.
Well, I just really wouldn't feel right taking it.
We insist, Gomer. We insist. Now, take it.
Well, thank you, fellers. I wish you a lot of luck with your pictures. Well, I guess I'll be going.
Yeah.
Thanks again, and I'll see you.
Yeah, so long, Gomer.
Goodbye, kid, and thanks a lot.
Yeah. Boy, we really got some great stuff.
Listen, what do you think he'll do when he sees those pictures?
What'll he do? Look, a guy like that doesn't even read our magazine. Besides, even if he does...
It came out pretty good.
Hey, get this. Terrific.
You're a genius, Mike.
What a face. You see, this guy makes the layout. You see what I mean? That innocent kisser and all those dolls. You know, there's a million beautiful dames, but a guy like this is hard to find. Oh, the boss is gonna love these. I bet he'll use them in the next issue. And you know something? I dreamed up a great title. Sunday is Fun Day.
Hey, Boyle. Huh? Huh?
Yeah, nice.
Here's what it says about her. She's an attorney.
She can handle any case of mine.
Yeah, mine too.
Hey, but Sarge, let's go get some breakfast. I'm starved.
Yeah, all right. Oh, boy. Look at this. Sunday is Fun Day. And a Marine, too. Some guys have all the luck. You know, when I look at a magazine like this, I begin to feel that life has been very unfair to me. I mean, all of these gorgeous dames in the world, and I never get to see any of them. Then some stupid guy like this comes along and... Can't be. You just can't.
Hey, Gomer, look at this. Sunday is Fun Day. Now, there's a way to spend a Sunday, Gomer. Playing at the beach with a dozen beautiful chicks. Hey, the guy's a Marine, too.
A Marine?
Matter of fact, he looks something like you. A lot like you. Exactly like you. Gomer!
What?
This is you!
Why, never.
It is you, isn't it? Isn't it?
No, I mean, yes, but it wasn't like that.
I don't get it. What?
Well, I mean, I was there, but it was just me. They said they'd fix them up just to trust them not to worry. And this is what they did. What a mean trick. What a mean, mean trick.
Gomer, how did you get into this? Did you know somebody or what?
You don't understand, do you? I didn't make those pictures with those girls.
I don't get it. You said this was you, didn't you?
Yeah, but those girls weren't there when I made the pictures.
Huh? Gomer, wait, where are you going?
To a phone. I'm going to call those people up and give them a piece of my mind right now.
No. Wait, Gomer, wait. Listen, these girls, did you get their numbers? Listen, why don't you get in touch and we'll get a couple for a night, huh? Huh, Gomer? Huh?
Sorry, they're not here today.
Well, where are they? I want to talk to them right now.
Well, they're out the 3rd Street beach shooting pictures. Why? Who's this?
Well, this is Gomer Pyle, the Marine they tricked into being in your magazine this month. And I've got something I want to say to them. They're not going to get away with it. No, sirree. The 3rd Street beach, huh? Well, goodbye.
You know what I think? This is Pyle's double. You know, they say everybody has somebody that looks just like him. Somewhere in the world, this is the guy that looks like Pyle.
Marines? Another PFC in the Marine Corps that looks exactly like him? It's not possible. It's gotta be Pyle.
Yeah, but with these dames? These gorgeous, wild, wonderful-looking dames? Hey, listen to what it says. Here are some fun girls cavorting on the beach with their Sunday companion, a playful young Marine. Their Sunday companion, Pyle?
I sure don't get it, but if it is Pyle...
Yeah, if it is Pyle, what?
Well, I've said it before. You never know what kind of a guy dames go for. You never know.
Oh, come on, Boyle. They're all kind of taste, but Pyle?
You never know. You just never know. I've seen good-looking dames out with monkeys.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Take me. I mean, I'm a good-looking guy, yet some dames don't see it. What's the matter?
Nothing. I didn't say anything.
Sergeant Carter?
Oh, Pyle.
I wonder if I could have my pass now.
Hey, your pass now? Why, it's only 10:15. You usually don't leave the base on Sunday until around 1.
I know, Sergeant, but I've got some urgent business to take care of, and I have to leave now.
Huh?
Could I have my pass now, please?
Well, yeah, I guess so, Pyle. Maybe I can give you a lift where you're going. I got the Jeep outside. I could take you.
No, thank you, Sergeant. I've got to see some people, and I prefer to see them alone.
Oh, alone, huh?
So could I have my pass now, please? I'd like to get started.
Yeah, well, there you are, Pyle. Have a good time.
Thank you, and bye, Sergeant Carter, Corporal Boyle.
Bye, Pyle.
What do you think, Boyle?
Well, those dames said he was their Sunday companion.
Let's get the Jeep. We're gonna follow him.
But you're sure you got a signed release from him, huh, Mike? I told you, I got it. It's in my desk.
Well, if you got the release, okay. But he sure sounded hot over that phone.
Ah, forget it. What can he do to us?
What's up?
Oh, that Marine we used. You know, the cornball. He saw the magazine, called the office, he's all shook up.
Yeah, and he's on his way out here. That's why he came out to warn you.
Well, look, you go back to the office. Just leave him to me.
Let's just park right here. We'll see where he's going.
He's going toward the beach.
Now we'll look this way, that's it. Will you get out of there? Come on.
Now, this is what I have. Hey, here he comes. What do we do?
Well, don't panic. Hey, girls, come here, will you? Look, you see this Marine down here coming up the beach? Huh? Yeah. Well, he's got a little beef with us, and he's kind of sore, you know what I mean? So I want you to kind of, you know, smooth him down. Take his mind off it. Be a little nice to him, you know? Go on, get him.
Where is he? Do you see him?
No, not yet. Oh.
What is it, Sarge?
I don't believe it.
Let me look. Oh, my gosh.
Do you believe it? Do you believe it?
Glasses don't lie.
I guess Sunday is just fun day for Gomer.
I can't watch anymore. Tears me to pieces.
Well, why don't we go down there and ask for an introduction? I mean, Pyle's your boy, isn't he? No need to keep all that loveliness to himself.
No, Boyle. You know, sometimes you don't use your head. Look, if we went down there now, it's obvious we followed him, right? How else would we know he's here?
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. We'll get in on it, all right, but we'll do it smooth and subtle. The Carter way.
So Pyle way doesn't look too bad from here.
Oh, come on, Boyle. Let's get out of here. If we stand around here looking, it'll drive us nuts.
All right, girls. All right, girls, let him go. Let him go. I'm sorry, Pyle, but we were just having a little fun.
Fun? Well, I want to tell you one thing, Mr. Bender. I don't appreciate your sense of humor, and I don't appreciate what you did with my pictures in your magazine. It was a mean, low-down trick.
Oh, now look, Pyle.
It was deceitful, that's what it was. Sham trickery, just plain out-and-out lying.
Now look, Pyle.
If you'd have told me what you were going to do with those pictures, I never would have consented, but you misled me.
Oh, take it easy, will you, Pyle? We thought you'd get a kick out of it. We knew you'd be surprised, but it was just a good-natured little joke.
Well, I don't consider it a joke. I was shocked when I saw those pictures. I don't think it was funny one bit, and that's what I came here to tell you. And there's one more thing. Here's your $20 back. It was forced on me through deceit and trickery, and I don't want anything to do with it.
Oh, come on now, Pyle.
I don't want any part of ill-gotten gains.
My, you've accomplished a lot today, Gomer.
Thank you, Miss Whipple.
Clarice, remember?
I'm sorry, Clarice.
That's better.
You know, you were right about this being relaxing, because when I got here this afternoon, I was terribly upset.
Oh, really, Gomer? Well, what was wrong?
Well, I'd rather not say. But you know one thing, Miss Clarice? There's a lot of deceit in this world, an awful lot. And that's one of the reasons I like coming here and hooking rugs. There's something honest about it.
You know, Gomer, in all my years, I have never heard that expressed better. Girls, did you hear what Gomer said? Oh, he expressed it beautifully.
You want to see me, Sergeant Carter?
That's right, Pyle. Come in, come in.
Did I do something wrong, Sergeant?
No, Pyle, you didn't do anything wrong. And that's just it. We don't just call a fella in when he's done something wrong. Sometimes we call him in when he's done something right.
You mean I did something wrong, Sergeant?
No, you did something right. That's why I called you in.
I did? Well, what did I do right, Sergeant Carter?
Well, your general attitude. You have got a terrific general attitude.
I have?
Absolutely. Whatever you do, you stick right with it. Right or wrong, you stick with it. And I like that, Pyle. I like that a lot.
Golly, Sergeant, I think I'm gonna cry.
No, Pyle, don't do that. Just run along, and remember, it's not all negative here. We can be positive, too.
Thank you, Sergeant Carter. Thank you.
I don't understand you, Sarge. Why don't you just come out and ask him to introduce you to those dames?
Because that's not the way you handle a guy like Pyle. A guy like Pyle is delicate, like a butterfly. You gotta creep up on him in easy steps.
Yeah? And that was step one?
Right. And about 3 o'clock this afternoon, it'll be time for step 2. You like your ice cream, Pyle?
Mm-hmm. It's delicious.
Good, good. You can have another if you like.
Well, let me finish this one first, and then I'll see.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you why I'm doing this, Pyle. It's because I don't think it's enough to just tell a fella when he's doing well. I think you should reward him. And this is your reward. Eat, eat, eat.
Sure a day I'll remember, Sergeant.
Yeah, well, I've enjoyed it, too. And you know something else, Pyle? You are good company. Maybe you and me should spend more time together.
Well, I'd really like that, Sergeant.
You would? Well, how about next Sunday, for instance? We'll do anything you want, whatever you usually do on Sunday.
Sunday? Well, I can't, but I'm free tomorrow night.
No. Call it silly, but I really want to spend a Sunday with you, Pyle.
Well, I don't know, Sergeant. You see, there's this usual thing I do on Sunday, and, well, I just don't think you'd be interested.
Well, that's where you're wrong, Pyle. I would be interested. I would.
Would?
I'll level with you, Pyle. I know what you do on Sunday, and I know you've been keeping it a secret, and I don't blame you. Because a lot of them knuckleheads would ruin it for you. You're right to keep it to yourself.
Well, the only reason I kept it a secret, Sergeant, is because I thought the fellers would laugh.
Laugh? What would they laugh about?
Well, it is kind of embarrassing, all those girls, and I am the only feller.
Yeah, I know. It's wonderful. I mean, I think we should keep it that way. Just you, me, and all them girls.
Then you really are interested, Sergeant?
Interested? Of course I'm interested. Are you kidding?
Well, it is relaxing. Clarice keeps saying it's therapy.
Oh, it is. Clarice is right. Now, listen, where are you meeting this Sunday?
At Clarice's.
At Clarice's place? Waitress, bring another plate of ice cream for my friend here. Eat. Did I do it or did I do it?
What's up, Sarge?
I'm in, Boyle, I'm in. Pyle's gonna take me with him on Sunday.
Oh, yeah? How did you work that?
Just like I told you. I played him like a barracuda, and he went for the bait, hook, line, and sinker.
Oh, great. So you didn't forget little Chuck, did you? You got me in, too, didn't you?
Well, not yet. You gotta play it cool. Now, we can't rush down there in a gang, you know.
Oh, but Sarge...
Well, take it easy, Boyle. Take it easy. You'll get your chance just as soon as I'm in solid. Hey, you know where we're going Sunday? To Clarice's place. Doesn't that send chills up and down your back?
Why can't I go with you?
Oh, relax, boy. What's your rush? There's plenty of time. Hey, wait a minute. Clarice? You know what I think, Boyle? I think that's Clarice, the attorney.
Take me with you. Please take me with you.
Is this it, Pyle? Is this where Clarice lives?
That's right. 3rd floor, apartment 3G.
3G? G like in girls, huh? Hey, Pyle, look at that. Is she one of them, one of the group?
Well, she must be one of the new ones. We're getting new people all the time.
Come on, Pyle, I can't wait.
Well, this is it, Sergeant.
Wait a minute, Pyle, wait a minute.
What is it, Sergeant?
Do they know I'm coming, that you're bringing me?
Oh, yeah, I called Clarice, and she was just as happy as could be.
Good. One more thing. I know this is my first time, but I kind of operate better if I swing loose.
Huh?
I mean, don't stick too close to me. You see, I know my way around, so don't be looking over my shoulder too much. You get it, huh?
You mean you've done this before, Sergeant?
Many times, son. Many times.
Is that so? Gee, I didn't know you hooked drugs before.
Oh, Gomer, and you brought your friend, Sergeant Carter. How nice. Come in, boys, come in.
You didn't know I did what to rugs before?
Girls, will you stop anything for a moment, please? I want to introduce a new member of our group. This is Sergeant Carter, Gomer's friend. Now, I'm Therese, and this is Marge, Eleanor, and Juliet, and Irma.
A rug hooking class. Boy, I'd have given anything to see that.
Knock it off, Boyle. It's not that funny.
It isn't? I think it's hilarious. Hey, you know what I ought to do? I ought to call it into the base newspaper. They'd get a kick out of that.
You do that, Boyle, and you'll get a kick out of it, too, only not in the same place.
Oh, boy, that Pyle.
I could kill him. I really could kill him.
Why? It's not his fault. You wanted to go with him on Sunday, and you went with him.
No. Pyle knew what I had in mind in the first place. He set a trap for me, and I walked right into it.
Oh, come on, Sarge. Pyle, he couldn't do a thing like that.
He couldn't? He did. Listen, he knew all about them pictures in that magazine, Sunday is Fun Day. When I told him I wanted to spend a Sunday with him, he had to know what I had in mind. Sure, he did that on purpose. There's a lot of malice in that guy, Boyle.
You can't be serious, Sarge. Now, say what you want about Pyle. That guy would do anything for you.
For me? You mean to me? He was out to get me, and he did. No, this was his nice, subtle way of giving me the shiv. After all this time, he finally figured out a way to get back at his sergeant.
Sergeant Carter, are you busy? Could I see you for a minute?
Why? What do you got behind your back, a rattlesnake?
Surprise, surprise, surprise. It's for you, Sergeant Carter. I've been working on it almost 3 months. Read what it says.
Semper Fidelis, especially to Sergeant Carter.
It's just a small token of my appreciation for you being the kind of sergeant you've been to me. It's just my way of saying thanks.
Yeah. Well, thanks. Thanks, Pyle.
Well, use it in good health, Sergeant. Well, bye. Bye, Corporal Boyle.
Well, what do you think of that, Sarge? If I were you, I'd feel pretty small. Sarge?
Right! Hey! Well, that was real sharp, men. Nice and crisp. I've seen better marches and protest parades. Lucky for you, I'm sick of looking at your faces or I cancel your weekend passes. But next Saturday, you better shape up. You read me? Dismissed! Pyle?
Oh, did you say something to me, Sergeant?
Didn't you hear me, Pyle? I just dismissed the platoon.
Oh, I'm sure sorry, Sergeant. I wasn't paying any attention. I was listening to the band.
Huh?
The marching band. Don't you hear them? They're still out there on the parade ground. I'll tell you one thing, Sergeant. March music always has been my weakness. I remember when we were in grade school, they used to play the National Emblem March on the phonograph, and all of us kids would join hands together and go marching off the place.
Pyle, okay, if you want to spend your weekend pass standing out here listening to bands, it's okay with me.
Thank you, Sergeant. Thank you. Just listen to those trumpets blaring. I tell you, that just covers me with goosebumps all over. Look there, Sergeant. Goosebumps. Look.
What's that?
I don't know. Music.
Probably some 8-ball left his transistor radio on in the barracks. Why don't you go turn it off, Boyle? I can't concentrate. I thought you were going to turn off that radio.
Oh, it's not a radio, Sarge. It's Pyle. He's playing the ukulele.
He's what? Well, why didn't you stop him? Make him quit.
Oh, he wasn't doing any harm, Sarge. He's off duty and all alone in there. I didn't have the heart.
Well, have the heart. Have the heart. Go back there and make him stop, or we'll never get anything done around here. He didn't have the heart.
Pyle!
Oh, hey, Corporal, I didn't hear you come in.
Pyle, the sergeant and I are trying to catch up on some paperwork. Try and hold it down, will you?
Oh, was I disturbing you? I'm sorry, Corporal, I'll quit.
Good. Oh, by the way, Pyle, you're not bad.
Well, thank you, Corporal. It's just something I picked up back home on TV, on the educational channel.
What is that?
Beats me. Sounds like some kind of static.
Well, go check it out, will you?
Right, Sergeant.
Well, what is it?
It's Pyle again.
Pyle? What did he do, open up a peanut stand?
He's got one of those sweet potatoes. You know, an ocarina.
What? Well, why didn't you take it away from him? I know. He's on his own time, he's all alone, and you didn't have the heart.
Well, that's right.
Well, I got the heart. Just watch. Pyle!
Oh, hey, Sergeant. Golly, was I disturbing you again?
What is it, Pyle? What's with the concert this morning?
Well, let me tell you about that, Sergeant. I sent away to Del Rio, Texas for a whole bunch of instruments, and I just got them yesterday. Cheap, too. Look here. I got myself a ukulele and a slide whistle and an ocarina and some bongos. Got the whole bunch of them for $7.95 and an autographed picture of Tex Ritter.
Is this it?
Yes, sir. Boy, didn't I get a bargain?
I'm confiscating it, Pyle. Do you understand that?
Huh?
Confiscating. And do you want to know why? Because this is a Marine base, not a conservatory of music. It's confiscated. When your enlistment in the Marine Corps is over, it will be returned to you. But till then...
It's confiscated.
Right.
Well, I sure am sorry, Sergeant. Since you're going to take all the instruments, you might as well take this autographed picture of Tex Ritter, too.
That's how much heart it takes. Now maybe we can get something done around here. Oh, Mr. Nice Guy. I suppose you would let him just go on blowing on that stupid thing, playing the ukulele, hitting them bongo drums?
That's not the point.
No? What's the point?
The point is a pal can be a knucklehead. I know that. And then one time you got to get rid of some musical instruments, and another time you got to get rid of something else that's annoying you.
Yeah, so what's the point?
Well, the point is it's not the things you want to get rid of. You want to get rid of Pyle.
What are you, some kind of psychiatrist?
You don't have to be a psychiatrist. It's simple.
Huh?
Well, face it, Sarge. You can take things away from Pyle because they bug you. But you won't be satisfied until you get rid of Pyle himself, right? Isn't that right?
You know something, boy? It's not just a matter of getting rid of Pyle. It's a matter of getting him properly placed in the Marine Corps. After all, I have his welfare at heart, and I just don't think he's properly placed here.
Yeah?
Yeah. I got an idea for Pyle, and you gave it to me.
What, exile?
It's just one chance and maybe 1,000, but it's worth a try.
Well, what are you gonna do?
It's a long shot, but like I said, it's worth a try.
Sergeant Carter, Corporal Boyle, was I disturbing you again?
No, Pyle, I just want to return something to you. Here, they're unconfiscated.
But I thought I was disturbing you.
No, you weren't disturbing me as much as I thought. In fact, when I got back to the office and started talking about how much you love music, I realized that maybe I acted a little hasty. Listen, Pyle, you do like music, huh?
Sergeant, music's part of my life.
I never knew that. I started thinking about you standing out there this morning listening to that band and the look on your face. If you like music that much, who am I to deprive you?
Golly, thank you, Sergeant.
Tell me this, Pyle. Do you know anything about music? Anything at all? And the way you handle that ukulele and that ocarina, you must have had some musical training.
Oh, I can read notes.
You can? You really can?
Uh-huh. You see, back home in Mayberry, I sang in the church choir for over a year, and even if I do say so myself, I pick up on instruments real easy like.
No kidding. That's very interesting, Pyle. You can read music. Now, listen, Pyle. Here's my next question. But think about it very carefully before you answer. Pyle, suppose, just suppose, you could play in the band right here on the bass. Would you like that?
Me? In the band?
Uh-huh.
Golly, Sergeant, I can't imagine that in my wildest dreams.
Well, you never can tell about dreams, Pyle. Sometimes they come true. In the meantime, just play away.
But, Sergeant, won't I be disturbing you?
Oh, no. It'll be nice in the office, like having piped-in music.
Bongo drums, too?
The bongo drums, anything. Just play, Pyle, play.
Gomer Pyle, who's he?
I'll tell you who he is, Gilroy. Gomer Pyle is one of the most dedicated musicians I've ever met. His whole life is wrapped up in music. Right, Boyle?
Oh, yeah, he loves music, all right. Oh, yeah? Cool it, you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. What I don't get, Carter, is if he's so wild to be in the band, why didn't he put in for it in the first place?
I knew you were going to ask me that, Gilroy, and I'll tell you why. Because he's the kind of guy that likes to do first things first.
Huh?
He wanted to make good as an infantryman. And let me tell you, he's done that. Because whatever Pyle does, he does to perfection. Because that's the kind of person he is. Right, Boyle?
Oh, yeah, he's real dedicated.
If you, like him so much, how come you're willing to lose him?
I'll tell you how come. Because he's a kid who's done a good job for me. He's worked hard, conscientious. Now he wants to move on, and I want to help him. Let me tell you something, Gilroy. You take this Pyle under your wing, work with him, be patient, and I guarantee you'll end up with a hard-working, dedicated bandsman.
All right. He sounds fine, but there's no sense in talking about it now, because in another week, the band goes on tour.
On tour?
Yeah, we're going to play bases all over the world. Our first stop is Iceland.
Iceland? You're going to Iceland?
That's right.
Frank, you gotta take him. Give this kid a chance. If you let a talent like this go to waste, it'll be a crime.
I don't see how...
Oh, come on, Frank. Let's face it. How many times have you had a pitch like this from a sergeant for one of his men, huh? At least talk to him. Give him a chance.
All right, bring him around. See what I can do.
Oh, thanks, Gilroy. Thanks. Believe me, you'll never regret it. Come on, boy. Let's give Pyle the good news.
Oh, Carter, this protege of yours, what instrument does he play?
Instrument? What instrument do you need?
Well, I can always use...
He'll play it. He'll play it.
I don't believe it. I just don't believe it. He wants to see me? You mean there's really a chance of me being in the band?
I'd say there's a good chance.
Golly, how about that? There's just one problem, though. What'll I play? I know the band don't have an ocarina section.
Oh, well, that's true, Pyle. But like I told Gilroy, a musician like you can fit in anywhere. Anyway, you said you could pick up instruments real easy.
Well, yes, Sergeant, but with all his fine musicians...
Oh, don't worry about them. All you gotta do is convince Gilroy how dedicated you are, that you'll do anything to get in the band. Beg, plead with him. Tell him you'll turn pages or shine up the horns. Tell him how good you are at shining brass.
I will, Sergeant, I will. Why, being in that band would be the most wonderful thing that ever happened to me.
Yeah, it would be wonderful. Well, don't just stand there, Pyle. Get over there and talk to Gilroy. He's waiting for you.
Golly, Sergeant, I'm so overwhelmed with gratitude, I don't even know how to thank you.
Relax, Sarge. If he gets in, he gets in. There's nothing you can do about it.
But when Gilroy sees how dedicated he is, he'll find a spot for him, won't he? Don't you think, huh?
Oh, sure. And especially when he sees how anxious you are to get Pyle properly placed.
Oh, why don't you stop? The fact is, I do want to get him properly placed. And in the band, in Iceland, oh, what a proper place. What is that?
I don't know. Sounds like it's coming from the barracks.
Yeah. It's probably the plumbing again in the shower. They were supposed to fix it. Go check on it, will you?
You gotta see this for yourself, Vince.
It's not the plumbing?
There's your plumbing.
Pyle, don't tell me.
Hey, Sergeant.
You're in. You made the band?
Well, no, I'm not exactly in the band yet.
What do you mean you're not in the band yet, Pyle? What are you doing with that tuba? They don't issue those to everybody.
Well, you see, Sergeant Gilroy gave me this to practice on. He wants me to be a standby for his regular tuba player.
A standby, huh?
Uh-huh. He's going to audition me Monday, and if I do real good, there's a chance of me really being in the band.
A real chance? You think you got a real chance, Pyle?
Well, Sergeant Gilroy was really encouraging. He said I had good lung power and the right-shaped lips.
Yeah, well, I always thought that. I never knew about the lungs, but I could tell your lips were the right shape.
What happens next, Pyle?
Well, Sergeant Gilroy spent about 2 hours with me showing me how to hold the tuba and how to work the valves and everything. And after he finished, I could play it. I told you I picked up on instruments real easy like.
No kidding.
Listen to this.
What's that?
Don't you recognize it? That's the Stars and Stripes Forever.
The Stars and Stripes Forever?
Uh-huh. You see, when I'm going... The rest of the band's going da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Hey, that's great, Pyle. Doesn't that sound good, Boyle?
Oh, yeah, there's no mistaking that. It's a tuba.
Thank you for the nice compliments, but alongside a professional tuba player, I'm just an amateur.
Oh, look, Pyle, it doesn't make any difference what you are. Just as long as you're good enough to get into the band. That's all any of us care about.
Well, with all your fine encouraging and compliments, how can I miss? All I got to do now is practice.
Yeah, Pyle, practice. Let's not waste any time.
Sure I won't be disturbing you?
Oh, no, Pyle. Nothing you do from now on is going to disturb you. Just practice. Keep practicing. Who is it? Come in.
Sergeant Carter?
Yeah, what are you guys doing up at this hour?
Listen, Sarge, don't you hear it?
Hear what?
That honking. It's Pyle, Tubby the tuba. He's playing in the latrine.
So he's playing the tuba. What do you want from me?
Well, Sarge, it's Sunday morning, our only day to sleep. I tried to talk to him. He said you wanted him to practice.
That's right. He's trying out for the band, and he needs all the practice he can get.
But does he have to start in the middle of the night? The whole barracks is up.
Well, tomorrow's his big day to audition. He wants to be ready, and he's got his heart set on it.
Sarge, that honking, it sounds like a foghorn.
A foghorn? Is that any way to talk about a musician? What, are you jealous because he's got talent and you haven't? Let's show a little consideration.
Oh, but Sarge...
Oh, come on. It's time you guys were up anyway. It'll give you a chance to air out your mattresses. Now move. Out. All right, ladies. Training schedule for today is as follows. We'll start with a run over the obstacle course, followed by machine gun and mortar practice, with the balance of the morning spent in hand-to-hand combat. Any questions? All right. The following men are excused from duty. Pyle. Turn. Dismissed.
Sergeant Carter.
Yes, sir.
That noise coming from your barracks, what is that?
Well, sir, it's one of my men.
What's he doing?
Practicing, sir. That noise is a tuba. You see, sir, he's auditioning for the band this afternoon, and he's so anxious to make good, I thought if a few extra hours practice would make the difference.
That's very commendable, Sergeant, but that noise can be a little distracting, especially during duty hours. I suggest you find him another place to practice.
Another place?
A room with more privacy and plenty of insulation.
Yes, sir. I'm sure I'll be able to find something.
Nice going, Sarge. You really found him a great practice room. How are we going to work?
It had to be. Where else could I take him?
I don't know, but can't we at least open up the window or a door to get some air in here?
No, they'll hear him.
Well, we hear him, and it's murder.
It's temporary, just temporary. Remember, today Camp Innocent, tomorrow Iceland.
Boy, if we can last.
He needs all the practice he can get. He's got to be ready by this afternoon.
Yeah.
It's temporary, just temporary. Sergeant Carter here. Oh, yes, sir, Lieutenant. Sir? You're over in the administration building and you can still hear him? Oh, yes, sir. We'll find another place for him. Right away, sir. Where?
Sergeant Carter? Sergeant Carter? Sergeant Carter? I've been practicing all afternoon, Sergeant. I think I'm about ready.
No, Pyle, you still got an hour yet before your audition. Keep practicing, keep practicing.
Okay, but I sure hope Sergeant Gilroy likes me.
Oh, he will, Pyle. You sound great, just great.
Well, here we are, Sergeant, right on time.
Yeah. Well, don't just sit there, Boyle. Help him with his tuba. Save his breath.
That's all right, Sergeant. If I'm going to be in the band, I got to do my own tuba carrying.
Now, before you go in, Pyle, is everything okay? Do you feel all right? You're not nervous?
No, Sergeant, I'm just fine, raring to go.
Good. I know how much this audition means to you. I mean, getting in the Marine band.
That's true, Sergeant, and if I make it...
No ifs. You're gonna make it. Remember, you're gonna. You gotta.
When I do make it, I'll owe it all to you because it was all your idea. I never will be able to thank you enough.
Well, don't worry about that, Pyle. I'll be thanked. Just knowing you're part of the band will be plenty of thanks.
Well, I guess I better get going.
Right. Hey, there's Sergeant Gilroy. Hi, Gilroy. We brought you tuba player.
Good.
How's he doing? Can we say he's officially in the band?
Looks good. Very good. Let's go, Pyle. We're due inside.
Right. See you later, Sergeant Carter.
Do you see that? Did you see that?
Yeah.
He's in, Boyle. He's in. Gilroy likes him.
It sure looks that way.
Gilroy likes him, and I love Gilroy.
Who would have believed it?
Yeah, oh. Well, come on. Let's start getting his transfer ready.
Here you are, Sarge. All finished.
Pyle's transfer. I never thought I'd live to see the day.
Just what you always wanted, huh?
Carter?
Oh, hi, Gilroy. You're just in time. Here's Pyle's shot record, his quartermaster issue, and his personnel file.
Now, what's this all about?
It's his transfer. He's transferring to the band, ain't he? You want him, don't you?
Sure, I want him, Vince. Only he doesn't want us. That's what I came to tell you about.
Huh?
Yeah, at the last minute, he turned it down. Look, I don't get it. You come to me, you give me a big pitch about him, then I take him and he turns it down.
He turned it down?
Like you said, he's dedicated, all right. And the regular tuba player saw how hard Pyle was working. He thought he was going to be replaced. So then he started working, and I think he actually improved. So I shouldn't complain too much. Pyle did me some good. See you, Vince.
He turned it down. Did you hear? He turned it down.
I heard.
What happened? You try, you plan, and then everything falls apart. Why?
Sergeant Carter, guess what?
What, Pyle, what? I'd really like to know. I thought you said you wanted to join the band.
I did, Sergeant, but boy, am I lucky I found out.
Found out what, Pyle, what?
Well, you didn't know about it, Sergeant, but the band's going on world tour, leaving for Iceland. And I'd had to go with them, and that meant that we'd be separated. And you probably wouldn't have seen me for over a year. Boy, are we lucky I found out. Ain't we lucky, Sergeant? Ain't we?
Yeah, Pyle. We're lucky. Real lucky.
Well, that's that. Anything else we ought to do?
Yeah.
let's get started on supply requisitions. If we finish up in time, maybe we can take in a movie in town.
Hey, that's a good idea. We could use some relaxation.
That's for sure.
Was sitting in the big chair, and the Asia archipelago was already changing. The phone didn't stop ringing. Yeah? Thorne here? The sinks? Tell the petty officers to use the ocean. We've got plenty of it. Ammo? We're out? Tell the boys to use the slingshots we confiscated from the local tribes. Oh, the garter belts? Yeah, we found them. Send them to the nurses' quarters. And tell the construction team that if they're building the new radar array in the middle of the rifle range, they should probably wear helmets. Percy Pringle rushed in, looking frantic. Skip. The crew of the 73 wants to know if they can throw a little shindig to celebrate your promotion. They've already got the hula boats and the synthetic ale ready. Da! Jax leaned back, his boots on the Commodore's mahogany desk. Full speed ahead, Percy. In fact, tell the boys, all ahead full. Chapter 3. The Exarch and the Princess Disguise. Just as the party was reaching its peak, with hula bots swinging their mechanical hips and the crew singing songs that would make a sailor blush, the radar pinged. Grand Marshal Kincaid wasn't the only guest. A diplomatic envoy was arriving. Exarch Orion of the Star Isles. A royal dignitary with 3 beautiful daughters and a temper like a dormant volcano. Thorne! Sterling screamed. Having miraculously recovered enough to watch the disaster from the bushes, the Exarch is here, and Marshal Kincaid's shuttle has just landed. You're finished. Look at this place. It's a circus. Jax Thorne didn't panic. He thrived in chaos. Percy, get those hula bots into the air raid shelter. Hide the ale. And someone find me a diplomatic gift. The Exarch Orion was a tall, regal man who looked like he hadn't smiled since the Great Nebula War. He traveled with his daughters, the princesses of Mirani. One of them, Princess Siri, had a penchant for rebellion that rivaled Jax's own. Commander Thorne, the Exarch boomed as he stepped off his skiff. I am told you are an efficient officer. My daughters wish to see your vessel. They find the hydroskiffs amusing. Of course, Your Highness, Jax said, glancing at the clock. Kincaid would be at the command center in 10 minutes. He needed to keep the Exarch busy. Why don't you take the wheel? It's quite relaxing. While the Exarch was distracted by the joy of driving a high-speed military skiff into a sandbar, Jax had another problem. One of the princesses was missing. She had sneaked off with one of Jax's crewmen for a private tour of the archipelago. If the Exarch finds out his daughter is gone, he'll declare war. Sterling hissed, appearing from behind a crate. I've got you now, Thorne. Not yet. Sterling. Jax grinned. He turned to Percy Pringle. Percy, remember that time you had to play a maiden in the Naval Academy play? I won an award for my vibrato, sir. Great. Put on this veil and this silk robe. You're now Princess Siri. The dinner with the Exarch was the stuff of legends. Percy, draped in shimmering fabrics and wearing a veil that covered his mustache, sat silently between the other 2 princesses. My daughter, the Exarch said, looking at Percy, you are unusually quiet tonight. And your shoulders, they seem broader. Are you doing those aquatic push-ups again? She has a cold, Your Highness, Jax interrupted. Affects the vocal cords. Makes her look robust. Sterling, determined to expose the fraud, leaned over. Your Highness, I think your daughter is an imposter. I believe that princess is actually a bumbling junior lieutenant. Sterling lunged across the table and snatched the veil off Percy's face. The Exarch gasped. Sterling gasped. Percy Pringle, realizing the jig was up, let out a high-pitched squeak. Commodore, Jax shouted. How dare you assault the princess? She's wearing a medicinal face mask for her space acne. It's a sacred tradition of her people. Sacred tradition? The Exarch roared, standing up. You call my daughter a phony Balinese bunny? You arrest me. You assault my family. I shall raid your Washington. I shall speak to the State Department. You are a stupid infidel, Sterling. The Exarch stormed out, leaving Sterling holding a piece of silk and looking at a very hairy Percy Pringle. Chapter 4. the laughing gas, and the accidental hero, the diplomatic disaster, led to one thing: a fitness board. Sterling was determined to break Percy Pringle down to a seaman's second class. "I'm going to request a fitness board convene immediately," Sterling shouted, his eyebrows still singed from a previous encounter with a malfunctioning cigar. One look at Pringle's record, the torpedoed garbage scow, the accidental shelling of the Admiral's golf course, and he's out. Jack Stone knew he had to act. He knew Sterling was only brave when he was angry. If the Commodore were happy, perhaps he'd be more lenient. "Grover," Jax called to his machinist. "That tank of nitrous oxide we borrowed from the dental clinic. Is it ready?" "All set, Skip." One blast through the Commodore's air vents, and he'll be in Happy Land. The plan was simple: gassing Sterling into a state of hysterical euphoria so he'd sign the cancellation papers. They pumped the gas into the Commodore's office, just as he was reviewing the charges against Percy. Sterling began to giggle. Then he began to hoot. "Oh, Chucky Wucky." Sterling laughed, hugging Percy Pringle. "You torpedoed a garbage scow? That's the funniest thing I've ever heard. Those potato peels must have looked just like a submarine." "You're a riot, Percy. A real card." Suddenly, the alarm blared. An actual enemy drone was approaching the base. "Marshal Kincaid is coming back," Baxter screamed. "And there's a drone on the radar." Percy Pringle, still dizzy from the residual gas, stumbled out onto the deck. He saw a turret. He saw a target. He didn't aim. He didn't even think. He just pulled the trigger because the vibrations felt ticklish. Boom! The enemy drone exploded in a spectacular fireball right in front of Marshal Kincaid's arriving shuttle. "Magnificent!" Kincaid shouted as he stepped onto the dock. "I've never seen such bravery." Standing, laughing in the face of death, firing a turret one-handed without even looking. "Pringle, you were born to be a combat officer." Sterling, coming down from his high, looked at the Marshal in horror. But he's a boob." He was laughing because... "Silence, Sterling." Kincaid snapped. "You're just jealous of this young man's raw, unadulterated talent. Pringle, I'm recommending you for a commendation, and Sterling, you look delirious. Back to the hospital with you." Chapter 5. The Ghost of Skiff. 1-3. Sterling's hatred for Jack Stone reached a fever pitch. He decided to play on the crew's superstitions. He planted a fake report in the files, claiming that Jax's boat, the 73, was actually the legendary jinxed skiff, 1-3. "The report says the entire first crew drowned," Percy Pringle cried, reading the forged document. "And the second crew was blown up by a malfunctioning espresso machine. We're cursed, Skip. We're living on borrowed time." The crew was terrified. They signed transfer papers, desperate to get off the haunted boat. Sterling smirked as he locked the papers in his safe. "I've got them," Sterling whispered to the darkness. "They'll be shipped off to the Arctic station by morning." But Jack Stone knew his Commodore. He knew Sterling was the most superstitious man in the Navy. That night, as Sterling sat in his darkened quarters, the lights began to flicker. A low, moaning sound echoed through the vents. "Wally? Wally Sterling?" A ghostly voice whispered. Sterling sat bolt upright. "Who's there?" "I have a gun. It's loaded with very expensive silver bullets. We are the ghosts of Skiff, 1-3. Jack's. Thorne's voice, filtered through a megaphone, and a bucket of water, filled the room. The door creaked open. There stood Jax and the crew, covered in phosphorescent paint and draped in translucent cargo nets. They glowed with an eerie, green light. "We've come back from the watery grave, Wally," Percy moaned, clanking a set of rusty chains. "And we won't leave until you give us the papers." "The transfers," the crew chanted. "Give us the records. They run a tight cloud up in heaven, Wally. We need the paperwork." Sterling, screaming like a terrified toddler, fumbled with his safe, threw the transfer papers into the air, and dived under his bed. "Take them. Take them all. Just don't haunt my martini." Jack snatched the papers, and the crew vanished into the night. The next morning, Sterling tried to claim it was a prank, but when Admiral Kincaid arrived and saw Sterling wearing a colander on his head to keep the ghosts out, the Commodore was once again ordered to take a very long rest. Chapter 6. The final straw came during a mission to the pleasure city of New Crystal. Jax and the crew were tasked with picking up the base payroll 62,000 galactic credits in unmarked physical chips. Sterling had set them up. He had leaked the route to a local gang of pickpockets, hoping the money would be stolen so he could finally court-martial Jax for gross negligence. "It's a trap, Skip," Percy Pringle shouted as they walked down Saloon Row in New Crystal. "I can feel it in my knees." Suddenly, a beautiful woman in a shimmering blue dress bumped into Percy. He fell into a fountain. When he came to, the canvas bag of credits was gone. "The money," Percy wailed. "It's gone, and all I saw was a girl's ankle." "An ankle?" Jax asked. "That's all you got?" "She had a birthmark, Skip. A little brown heart right on her right ankle. I'd know it anywhere." The crew began a frantic search of New Crystal. They went from bar to bar, cafe to cafe, with Jax lifting up tablecloths and Percy peering under park benches. "Pardon me, ma'am," Jax would say to a horrified socialite. "The Navy has reason to believe a dangerous criminal is hiding under your skirts. Just a quick peek at the footwear, if you please." Meanwhile, Sterling and Baxter had arrived in New Crystal to witness the crime. The chase led to an old warehouse district. Jax spotted the girl with the heart-shaped birthmark. She was handing the bag to a man in a grey suit. "There they are," Jax shouted. "Get 'em." The thieves ducked into a carnival area. Sterling, not wanting to lose sight of Jax, accidentally stumbled into a funhouse. "Thorne, I've got you." Sterling's voice echoed through a dozen distorting mirrors. He looked 10 feet tall and 3 inches wide. "You're under arrest for looking ridiculous." The thieves dived into a hollowed-out ceremonial cannon, stashing the bag inside the barrel. Jax and Percy arrived seconds later, and in tansies more, they stashed it in the gun. Percy yelled. Just then, Sterling burst out of the funhouse, waving his pistol. "Halt! I've caught you red-handed. Where is the money, Thorne? Produce the payroll, or prepare to spend the rest of your life in a dark room with nothing but Percy Pringle for company." "I'm telling you, Captain, the thieves put it in that cannon." Jax pointed. "A likely story. That cannon hasn't been fired since the colony was founded." Sterling marched up to the cannon. "I'm going to look inside, and if I find nothing but cobwebs, you're finished." Sterling leaned over the muzzle of the cannon. At that exact moment, a celebratory firework from the nearby carnival landed in the cannon's ancient fuse. Kaboom! The cannon roared to life. A cloud of thick, black smoke engulfed Sterling. And then, like a miracle from the heavens, it began to rain. It didn't rain water. It rained galactic credits. Thousands of shimmering chips fluttered down from the sky, coating the area in a layer of wealth. Sterling, covered in soot and looking like a chimney sweep, stood there as a 20-credit chip landed perfectly in his open mouth. 42,365. Jax Thorne began counting, a smug grin on his face. "I wasn't worried for a second, Captain. I knew you'd find the evidence. You always were a blast to work with." Sterling spit out the coin and looked up at the sky, where the last of the payroll was drifting down like snow. "Why me?" Sterling whispered to the third son of Oceanus Prime. "Why is it always me?" Jax Thorne clapped him on the shoulder. "Because, Wally, the Azure Archipelago needs a hero, and today, that hero is a soot-covered Commodore who just provided the most expensive firework display in history." As the crew began scooping up the money, Jax leaned over to Percy. "Don't forget the peanut butter, Percy. I think Barnaby the Cybergator is going to be hungry tonight." And so, life in the Azure Archipelago continued a perfect balance of incompetence, chaos, and the occasional rain of money. The end. The Chaos Chronicles of Mariposa Outpost. A novel of nautical nonsense and tropical turmoil. Chapter 1. The Garter Belt Crisis and the Iron-Jawed Inspector. The Mariposa Archipelago was, by all geographic accounts, a paradise of turquoise waters and swaying palms. However, to Director Barnaby, the Badger Bumbleton, it was a humid hellscape populated by idiots, insubordinates, and most distressingly nurses without proper hosiery. Garter belts! Bumbleton shrieked, his face reaching a shade of purple that matched the tropical sunset. You are the supply officer of this high-security maritime outpost, Pringle. If the medical staff requires garter belts to keep their dignity intact, you don't question the logistics. You snap to it. You shake a leg. Oh, you know exactly what I mean. Officer Percy Pringle, a man whose uniform always seemed 3 sizes too large, and whose nervous system was held together by caffeine and sheer terror, stammered incoherently. But, Director, the requisition form was filed under tactical restraints. And I thought, don't think, Pringle. It's a war out here, a war against chaos. Bumbleton collapsed into his swivel chair, clutching his chest. Everything rests on my shoulders. And now, the final nail in my professional coffin has arrived. He shoved a crumpled telegram across the desk. Pringle squinted at the text. Inspector General, Ironjaw's Ironside, arriving 1,400 hours for sneak inspection. God help you, General Rafferty. Bumbleton's eyes bulged. Ironjaws is coming here? To this circus? Pringle, have you seen the state of the Petty Officers' Lounge? The sinks are backed up with what I can only describe as primordial ooze. The security cameras are being used to live-stream crab races, and my stomach acid could currently dissolve the hull of a destroyer. As if on cue, the telephone on his desk jangled. Bumbleton snatched it up. Director Bumbleton here. Who did you expect? Tokyo Rose? What? The sinks in the club are overflowing. I'm the commanding officer, not a licensed plumber. Fix it or drown in it. He slammed the phone down and looked at Pringle with a desperate, wild glint in his eye. Pringle, I'm sick. Very sick. I can feel a tropical malaise coming on. If I were hospitalized, I would have to appoint an acting director, someone who would have to face the wrath of Ironside while I recover in the safety of a morphine drip. Pringle, ever the sycophant, nodded vigorously. Sir, I am ready to accept the supreme test. I will lead the outpost. Not you, you ninny. Silas Thorne. Bumbleton's grin was predatory. With Thorne and his gang of maritime misfits in charge, they'll run this place into the ground within 20 minutes. They'll destroy themselves right in front of the inspector. It's brilliant. I'll look like a victim of circumstance, and Thorne will be court-martialed back to the Stone Age. Bumbleton began to moan, clutching his stomach and sliding off his chair with theatrical grace. Quick, Pringle, call the medics. Tell them I've succumbed to indigestion of the soul. Hurry. Chapter 2. The Reign of Captain Silas Thorne. Captain Silas. Skip. Thorne was currently engaged in the most important task of his day, perfecting the ratio of pineapple juice to rum in a coconut shell. His crew, a collection of men who viewed military regulations as creative suggestions, lounged around the PT-46 boat like cats in a sunbeam. Skipper! Pringle screamed, sprinting toward the dock. The director is down. He's in the infirmary. He's appointed you acting director of Mariposa Outpost. Thorne didn't even look up from his coconut. Is he dead? Or just avoiding the laundry bill? He's very sick, sir. He looks like he's practicing for his own funeral. You have to take command. It's an order. Thorne sighed, setting down his drink. Commande? That sounds like a lot of paperwork and very little tanning. Fine, Pringle. Tell the boys to put on their shirts, the ones with the least amount of mustard stains. We're going to the big office. By the time Thorne reached the administrative center, the chaos was already in full swing. The phones were ringing off the hook, the air conditioning was rattling like a skeletal percussion section, and Chief Miller was standing in the middle of the lobby, holding a crate of what appeared to be garter belts. Good news, Skipper, Miller shouted. We found the tactical restraints. The nurses are thrilled. Great, Miller. Send them over, Thorne said, leaning back in Bumbleton's oversized leather chair and putting his boots on the desk. Pringle, you're the acting executive officer. Your first task is to find me a fan and a sandwich. But, sir, Pringle squeaked. The radar is tracking an unidentified contact, and the Seabees are complaining that the new rifle range is located directly in the path of the mess hall. Tell the Seabees to keep their heads down while they eat, Thorne replied calmly. And as for the radar, it's probably just a migrating whale or a very large seagull. Relax, Percy. We're in charge now. Full speed ahead. Chapter 3, The Sultan and the Secret Party. While Director Bumbleton watched from the infirmary window, rubbing his hands together in glee at every minor disaster he witnessed, a new complication arrived. The Inspector General's plane touched down, but he wasn't alone. Accompanying the fearsome Iron Jaws, Ironside was a VIP guest, the Grand Vizier of Zandaria, a man of immense wealth and even immenser pride, along with his 3 beautiful and very bored daughters. "Greetings, O exalted ruler," Thorne announced, greeting the Vizier on the tarmac while wearing a Hawaiian shirt under his uniform jacket. "Welcome to Mariposa. I'm Silas Thorne, your host and occasional maritime guide." The Vizier looked at Thorne's sandals, and then at the rusted hull of the PT-46. "It's vintage, Your Highness," Thorne lied smoothly, "built for stealth and, tropical charm. My crew and I are here to serve your every whim." The Vizier's daughters, meanwhile, were eyeing the crew. Miller, sensing an opportunity to rake in a pile of dough, whispered to Thorne, "We've got the grass skirts, the roasted pig, and the illicit pineapple moonshine ready to go." "Miller, you're a genius," Thorne said. "Tell the boys. Full speed ahead on the party. But keep it away from the inspector's quarters." Of course, in the Mariposa outpost, keeping it quiet was like trying to keep a volcanic eruption confidential. By sundown, the bomb shelter had been converted into a makeshift nightclub, complete with hula dancers and a jazz band composed of disgruntled engineers. Chapter 4, The Laughing Gas Lament. Director Bumbleton couldn't take it anymore. From his bed, he could hear the faint thumping of drums and the unmistakable sound of laughter. "They're enjoying themselves, Pringle," Bumbleton hissed, having summoned his assistant to the infirmary. "I'm here at death's door, and Thorne is hosting a gala in a bunker." "But, sir, you're supposed to be in a coma," Pringle reminded him. "I'll fake a miraculous recovery. But first, we need to ensure the inspector sees the debauchery. And I have just the thing." Bumbleton pointed to a pressurized tank in the corner of the medical bay. "Nitrous oxide. Laughing gas. If we can vent this into Thorne's office during the formal briefing, he'll look like a raving lunatic in front of Ironside." What followed was a sequence of events that defied all logic. Bumbleton and Pringle, dressed in oversized hospital robes, attempted to sneak the tank toward the administrative building. However, they ran directly into the Vizier, who was wandering the grounds looking for his daughters. "What is this?" the Vizier demanded, pointing to the tank. "Is this a gift for my kingdom?" "Yes, a ceremonial incense burner," Bumbleton improvised, sweating profusely. "Very traditional. Inhale deeply, Your Highness." The valve jammed. A hiss of gas filled the hallway. Within seconds, Bumbleton, Pringle, and the Grand Vizier of Zandaria were doubled over in uncontrollable fits of giggles. You look like a purple badger," the Vizier shrieked, pointing at Bumbleton. "And you have a very silly hat," Bumbleton replied, tears of laughter streaming down his face. They stumbled into the main briefing room just as Inspector Ironside was reviewing the outpost's defenses. Ironside, a man who hadn't smiled since the mid-70s, stared in horror as the director of the outpost and a foreign dignitary began playing leapfrog over the conference table. "Thorne," Ironside bellowed, "what is the meaning of this?" Thorne, ever the opportunist, didn't miss a beat. "It's a new combat stress relief exercise, sir. Very experimental. Clearly, it's working." Chapter 5, The Trial of Gustave, the Crocodile. The laughter eventually subsided, replaced by a massive headache for everyone involved. But the worst was yet to come. Bumbleton, determined to reclaim his authority, noticed that his personal wallet, containing the base's entire monthly payroll in cash, was missing. "Thorne stole it," Bumbleton screamed. He took advantage of the gas-induced hilarity to pick my pocket. I want a fitness board hearing. I want him stripped of his rank. I didn't touch your wallet, Barnaby, Thorne said, leaning against the doorframe. But I did see someone hanging around your office. A local resident. Goes by the name of Gustav. Na, Gustave? Who is this Gustave? Is he one of your cutthroats? He's an 11-foot saltwater crocodile, sir, Miller added helpfully. And he's got a real taste for Italian leather. A formal court-martial was convened in the mess hall. It was a scene of utter absurdity. Inspector Ironside sat as the judge, while Bumbleton acted as the prosecutor, pacing back and forth in front of a giant, tethered crocodile named Gustave, who was currently sunning himself on a pallet of sand in the middle of the room. I submit to the court, Bumbleton declared, that this beast is a trained accomplice of Silas Thorne. He was seen with my wallet in his mouth. I want the animal opened up. I want the evidence. Thorne stood up for the defense. I object, sir. You can't call Gustave a thief. He has an unhappy childhood. He's a victim of society. And besides, Officer Pringle here can testify that the crocodile actually found the wallet after the director dropped it during a fit of tactical maneuvering. I didn't drop it, Bumbleton yelled. He snatched it. Gustave, you scoundrel, give it back. Bumbleton lunged at the crocodile. Gustave, sensing a snack, snapped his jaws with a sound like a gunshot. Bumbleton recoiled, falling backward into a vat of mashed potatoes. In the commotion, Gustave let out a wet, heavy cough. Out slid a soggy leather wallet. Ironside picked it up with 2 fingers. Director Bumbleton, your ID is inside, along with several marked $100 bills that appear to have been treated with a chemical tracer. Bumbleton froze. He had marked the bills himself to trap Thorne, forgetting that using base payroll for a sting operation was a federal offense. It seems, Ironside said coldly, that the only person who attempted to frame anyone today was you, Director. Captain Thorne, you are dismissed. As for you, Bumbleton, I think a long vacation in a windowless room is in your future. Chapter 6. The Payroll and the Cannon. The aftermath of the trial left the outpost in a state of flux. Bumbleton was under house arrest, and Thorne was officially the temporary commander. But there was one final problem. The actual payroll had been lost in a freak boating accident during the Sultan's visit. $62,000. Skip, Miller whispered. If we don't find it, we're all going to the brig for life. Where did it go, Pringle? Thorne asked. I might have stashed it in the old vintage cannon on the North Shore. Pringle confessed, trembling. I thought it would be a safe place. No one ever uses that thing. Pringle, you beautiful idiot. Thorne groaned. That's the cannon the inspector wants to fire for the ceremonial departure tonight. The crew raced to the North Shore. They arrived just as Inspector Ironside was approaching the vintage artillery piece, a torch in his hand. A fine piece of history, Ironside remarked. It represents the strength and stability of this outpost. Ready, aim. Wait, sir, Thorne shouted, sprinting across the grass. The bore isn't clear. It's dangerous. Nonsense, Thorne. Stand back. Boom. The cannon roared. But instead of a lead bowl, a massive cloud of green paper erupted from the muzzle. It rained down over the outpost like the world's most expensive confetti. $62,000 in small bills fluttered through the air, coating the inspector, the crew, and the vizier's daughters in a sea of cash. Ironside stood frozen. $100 bill stuck to his forehead. He looked at Thorne. He looked at the money. He looked at the cannon. Well, Thorne, Ironside said, his voice strangely calm, I've seen a lot of things in my 30 years of service, but I have never, ever seen a base commander literally blow the budget. Thorne grinned, catching a $20 bill out of the air. Just keeping the economy moving, sir. Full speed ahead. Epilogue. Sunset at Mariposa. Director Bumbleton was eventually cleared of the criminal charges but was promoted to a desk job in a sub-basement in the Arctic. Captain Silas Thorne remained the acting director of Mariposa Outpost, a position he used primarily to ensure that the hammocks were always occupied and the coconuts were always full. Officer Pringle never did find those garter belts, but he did become quite skilled at wrestling crocodiles. And, Gustave? Gustave became the official mascot of the outpost, living a life of luxury and occasionally eating the occasional auditor. In the Mariposa archipelago, the sun set over a base that was messy, loud, and entirely against regulations. And Silas Stone wouldn't have had it any other way. The Emerald Atoll Chronicles. Chaos on the High Seas. Chapter 1. The Lingerie Logistics and the Looming Shadow. The morning air at Emerald Atoll was thick with humidity, the scent of diesel, and the sound of director Barnaby Bumbleworth screaming about hosiery. Barnaby, a man whose blood pressure was roughly the same temperature as the surface of the sun, slammed his fist onto his mahogany desk. "Zowie, Zowie, Zowie," he bellowed, his face turning a shade of magenta that made the nearby hibiscus flowers look pale. "Garter belts Percival, you are the chief logistics officer of this private security outpost. If the nursing staff requires garter belts for their formal uniforms, you snap to it, shake a leg, move a hip, do whatever it is people do when they aren't being monumental disappointments." His assistant, Lieutenant Percival Pudge Pringle, flinched so hard he nearly swallowed his spectacles. But Director, the shipment from the mainland, was intercepted by a school of particularly aggressive swordfish, and I don't care about the dietary habits of the local fauna. Barnaby shrieked. He collapsed into his chair, clutching his chest. What a life. Everything is on my shoulders. I'm the commanding officer of the most disorganized piece of coral in the Caribbean, and I'm expected to be a fashion consultant for the medical wing. Just then, a frantic orderly burst into the office. "Sir, a telegram from Central Command. Inspector General Grim Reaper Gore is arriving today for a surprise audit. He's already in the air." The magenta drained from Barnaby's face, replaced by a sickly, curdled milk yellow. "Gore? Iron Pants Gore? The man who once fired a cook for having uneven eyebrows? Oh, this is the end. Do you realize the state of this base, Pringle? The sinks in the officers' lounge are backing up with something that looks suspiciously like lime-flavored jelly. The security drones are being used to roast marshmallows." The phone rang. Barnaby snatched it up. "Hello? Yes, this is Director Bumbleworth. Who did you expect? The ghost of Christmas past? Listen, I don't care if the toilets are overflowing into the dance hall. I'm a director, not a plumber. Fix it or drown in it." He slammed the phone down and turned to Pudge, his eyes twitching. "My stomach acid could start a cold engine. Give me those pills. The blue ones." "Sir, please," Pudge pleaded. "Those give you terrible indigestion. You'll be hallucinating by lunch." "Good," Barnaby snapped. "Maybe I'll hallucinate a world where I'm not surrounded by idiots." Suddenly, a devious glint appeared in his eye. "Wait, if I were sick, truly, medically incapacitated, I could appoint an acting director. Someone to take the heat when Gore arrives. Someone who can be the sacrificial lamb." Pudge nodded eagerly. "I am ready for the supreme test, sir." "Not you, ninny," Barnaby sneered. "I'm talking about Captain Mad Dog Maverick. With Maverick and his band of high seas hooligans in charge, the base will become such a riotous circus that Gore will be so distracted by their incompetence that he'll forget to check the books. They'll destroy themselves right in front of him, and I'll be safely tucked in bed, looking like a victim of overwork. Brilliant, sire. I do look sick, don't I?" Barnaby began to stagger, clutching his throat. "Terribly sick. Call the medics. Tell them I've got the emerald fever." On the double, Chapter 2. The Pirate King takes the throne. Captain Maverick, a man who viewed naval regulations as vague suggestions for boring people, was currently overseeing a very important tactical maneuver involving a hammock and a cold beverage when the summons arrived. Minutes later, he and his crew, a collection of misfits, including the legendary tinkerer Gruber and the perpetually confused Hanson, were standing in the director's sick room. Barnaby lay under a pile of blankets, groaning with the theatricality of a dying opera star. "Oh, Maverick," Barnaby wheezed. "The tests. They haven't come back yet. All I know is that I'm in bad shape. Bad shape. Maverick leaned over, squinting. You look fine to me, Barnaby. A bit sweaty, but that's just your personality leaking out. Push my pillow up, Barnaby barked. Then immediately screamed. Not that high. You're trying to fold me in half. Put it down. Neutral. Neutral. Gee. Sorry, sir. Gruber chirped, adjusting the bed crank. I thought it was in gear. Barnaby glared at them. I'm appointing you. Acting director. Maverick. It's an order. I need to rest. Pringle here will be your executive officer. Pudge beamed. Oh. Boy. Did you hear that, Captain? You won't regret this, sir. I know. Barnaby whispered, a malicious smile tugging at his lips. Now get out. Take command. This minute. As Maverick exited, the phone in the main office began to ring off the hook. He picked it up. Director Maverick speaking. The sinks? Listen, Chief, I'm not a plumber. Have the men wear rain boots. It'll be a tropical theme. What else? They got their belts? Yeah, we found them. They were being used as slingshots in the motor pool. Send them over to the nurses. He turned to his crew. All right, boys, the director said. Full speed ahead. If we're in charge, we're doing it our way. Hanson, get the radar tracking. A positive identification on that incoming flight. Gruber, the boys want to throw a shindig? Tell them it's authorized. Full speed ahead. Within hours, Emerald Atoll transformed. The air raid shelter became a tiki lounge. The motor pool became a makeshift casino. And Maverick, sitting behind the mahogany desk, was enjoying a cigar while a nurse in a swimsuit tried to convince him that the director's private beach was the perfect spot for a synchronized swimming rehearsal. Chapter 3. The Archduke and the Hula Trap. The festivities were interrupted by a terrifying realization. Inspector Gore wasn't the only VIP arriving. The Grim Reaper was accompanied by the exalted Archduke of Ambrosia and his 3 beautiful, albeit very bored, daughters. Barnaby, watching from his hospital window, was ecstatic. Look at them, Pringle. They've turned the base into a Roman orgy. However, Maverick was faster than Barnaby anticipated. Iron Pants is coming, and he's bringing a duke? Maverick looked at the hula dancers and the gambling tables. All right, change of plans. We need to look like the most efficient, buttoned-up security force in the world. Gruber, hide the girls in the bunker. Hanson, get that uniform starched. When Inspector Gore's jeep rolled up, Maverick was standing at attention, looking suspiciously professional. Welcome to Emerald Atoll, sir. Maverick said, saluting with crisp precision. Acting Director Maverick at your service. And this is Lieutenant Pudge, our executive. Something. Gore narrowed his eyes. What the devil is that around your neck, Lieutenant? Pudge looked down at the floral lei he'd forgotten to remove. Oh, it's an old native custom, sir. For, security. It's camouflage. Camouflage? Gore snorted. Bumbleworth is in the hospital, I hear? Yes, sir, Maverick replied. Delirious. Thinks he sees hula girls everywhere. It's a tragedy, really. Combat fatigue. Barnaby, desperate to reveal the chaos, practically threw himself at Gore when the inspector visited the sick room. Admiral, you have to go to the bunker. There are hula girls. An orgy. Maverick is a traitor. Gore looked at Maverick, then back at Barnaby. The man is clearly out of his mind. Girls in the bunker? We just came from there. It's filled with crates of sensible, non-scandalous filing cabinets. Maverick had moved the girls to the laundry room just seconds before. The game of musical chairs continued until Barnaby, in a fit of rage, escaped the hospital in a stolen seaman's uniform, screaming about the evidence. He burst into the laundry shack just as Gore and Maverick arrived. I've got them, Barnaby yelled, throwing open a large boiler. The hula girls, a disgruntled Pudge, stepped out, holding a fire extinguisher. Gore sighed. Bumbleworth, you're a disgrace. Put this man under sedation immediately. Barnaby was hauled away, screaming, while Maverick winked at the laundry, which was currently giggling behind a pile of sheets. Chapter 4. The Laughing Gas Gambit. The following week, the base faced a new crisis. Maverick had a wisdom tooth that was causing him agony, which mostly manifested as him being even more irritable than Barnaby. After a trip to the base dentist, Maverick returned to the crew, his face swollen and a strange, dreamy smile on his lips. "He's got the happy juice in him," Gruber whispered. "Nitrous oxide. He's feeling no pain." Maverick was indeed feeling no pain. In fact, he found everything hilarious. When the 73 boat accidentally ran over Director Barnaby's private dinghy, Maverick laughed so hard he fell overboard. Barnaby, dripping wet and clutching a piece of driftwood, was not amused. "I've had enough. I'm convening a fitness board. I'm breaking you all down to seaman second class. I'm a regular Casey Jones when it comes to railroading, Maverick." The crew knew they were in trouble. "We gotta jolly him up," Gruber suggested. If the captain was happy because of the gas, maybe Barnaby needs a whiff of the same stuff. They managed to swipe a tank of nitrous oxide from the dental clinic and rigged it to the air conditioning vents in the director's office. "Okay, boys," Maverick, now sober, whispered. "When he starts the meeting, give him the blast." Inspector Gore and the fitness board arrived. Barnaby was ready to destroy Maverick's career. July 16th. Maverick torpedoed a garbage scow. He said he thought it was a camouflaged submarine. Suddenly, a faint hissing sound filled the room. Barnaby paused. He sniffed. Then, he giggled. "A garbage scow," Barnaby shrieked, doubling over with laughter. It was covered in potato peels." "Oh, that's rich. Maverick, you're a riot. You're a regular barrel of fun." The fitness board members looked at each other. Soon, they were all clutching their sides. "A potato sub! Ha ha ha! I love you, Maverick!" Barnaby shouted, throwing his arms around his arch nemesis. "You're my bingy winky. I'm canceling the hearing. Let's go to the nurse's quarters and dance." The plan was a roaring success until the gas wore off right as the Inspector General was halfway through a chorus of Sweet Caroline. Barnaby's face instantly snapped back to its default magenta. "What am I doing?" Barnaby demanded. "Why am I wearing a floral wreath?" "Maverick, you're under arrest." Chapter 5. The Archduke's Daughters and the Great Deception. The Archduke of Ambrosia returned for a formal diplomatic dinner. He was a stern man who traveled with his most valuable cargo. His 3 daughters, who were kept under strict guard. "My daughters are the light of my life," the Archduke warned Barnaby. "If any of your riff-raff so much as looks at them, I will have them launched into the sun." Naturally, Maverick's crew were already looking. Gruber had managed to strike up a romance with Princess Serafina, the oldest daughter, by promising her a ride on the fastest boat in the fleet. "I have to see her, Skip," Gruber pleaded. "It's true love. Or at least, it's a very interesting curiosity." To cover for Gruber, Maverick had to distract the Archduke. "Your Highness, would you like to drive the boat? It's very relaxing." The Duke was thrilled. He took the wheel of the 73 boat and nearly drove it into a coral reef while Maverick sweated through his dress whites. Meanwhile, Gruber had snuck Serafina onto the boat, but the engines conked out. Gruber had pulled a wire, leaving them stranded. The diplomatic dinner was a disaster. "Where are my daughters?" the Duke demanded. Barnaby was suspicious. "Maverick, where is the princess?" In a desperate move, Maverick dressed Pudge in a silk gown and a heavy veil. "Here she is, Your Highness. She just had a bit of an allergic reaction to the local shrimp. Her face is quite swollen." Pudge, attempting a high-pitched feminine voice, nodded. "Zawi, hello, Daddy." The Archduke stared at the princess. "Serafina, you've grown robust, and your voice sounds like a rusty hinge." Barnaby, sensing blood, ripped the veil off. "It's Pringle. I knew it." The Duke was outraged, but just then, Gruber and the real princess arrived, claiming they had been inspecting the maritime safety protocols. The Duke was so impressed by Gruber's dedication to safety that he gave him a medal, leaving Barnaby to scream into a pillow. Chapter 6. The Ghost of the Atoll. Barnaby was convinced the 73 boat was jinxed. He had discovered an old record suggesting it was originally Boat 13, a vessel plagued by accidents. He used this to terrify the crew, hoping they would all resign. "You're on a floating Jonah," Barnaby cackled. "Every crew that sailed her has met a watery grave." The crew was spooked. Even Maverick was starting to look over his shoulder. "Maybe he's right, Skip. The engines started themselves last night." But Maverick soon found a string attached to the ignition. "Bumbleworth, you sneaky devil." The crew decided to fight fire with supernatural fire. That night, as Barnaby sat in his office, gloating over the resignation papers he'd forged, the lights began to flicker. "Who's there?" Barnaby whimpered. "We are the ghosts of Boat 13. A booming, distorted voice echoed through the vents. 3 figures, covered in glowing seaweed and translucent sheets, Gruber had used a lot of neon paint, floated past the window. "Barnaby, give us the papers." Maverick's voice was unmistakable, but he was wearing a glow-in-the-dark mask that made him look like a radioactive walrus. "Ah, ghosts!" Barnaby dove under his desk. "Take them, take anything. Just don't haunt my martinis." The crew made off with the records, and Maverick returned from the dead the next morning to inform Barnaby that the jinx had been lifted by a wandering priest. Barnaby was too terrified to argue. Chapter 7. The Alligator and the Missing Millions. The final straw came when the base payroll $62,000 in cash went missing under Pudge's watch. "I had it right here," Pudge wailed. "And then there was a girl, and an ankle, and a birthmark. And then I woke up, and the money was gone." Barnaby was over the moon. "Larceny, finally. I've got you all. You've swiped the payroll." The crew spent all night searching the jungle for the thief. They finally found the culprit. A massive, grumpy alligator named Snappy. Snappy was currently chewing on a leather wallet. "He ate the payroll," Gruber cried. "Or, at least, he's holding it hostage." The problem was that Snappy only responded to one thing: Pudge's mother's homemade peanut butter. "I have to get it out of his mouth," Pudge said, trembling. The alligator snapped, nearly taking Pudge's arm off, but eventually surrendered the wallet. Inside, however, were not the $62,000, but Barnaby's private stash of marked bills he'd been using to trap Maverick. The real payroll had been stashed in an old ceremonial cannon by a group of local smugglers. During the ensuing chaos, Maverick accidentally fired the cannon to defend against a perceived enemy attack. The sky rained money. $62,000 fluttered down over Emerald Atoll like green snow. Inspector Gore arrived just as the money was falling. "What is this? Bumbleworth, why are you throwing the payroll into the air?" It's a morale-boosting exercise, sir," Barnaby stammered. Gore shook his head. "Maverick, you're the only one who seems to have a handle on this place. I'm recommending you for a promotion." Barnaby fainted. Snappy the alligator crawled into the director's office and fell asleep on the mahogany desk. Maverick leaned back, took a sip of his drink, and smiled at the sunset. Another day, another dollar. Maverick mused. "Actually, sir," Pudge noted, looking at the falling cash, "it's about 62,000 of them." "Close enough, Pudge, close enough." Conclusion. As the sun dipped below the horizon, Emerald Atoll settled into a rare moment of peace. Barnaby was in a straitjacket, Maverick was being hailed as a hero, and Gruber was teaching the Archduke's daughters how to play poker. It was a victory for the misfits, a defeat for the bureaucrats, and a very good day for anyone who owned an alligator. The chronicles of the Emerald Atoll were far from over, but for now, the high seas were safe, or at least as safe as they could be with Captain Maverick at the helm. The dust, rats of Zion. 9. Affronti Farce. Chapter 1. The Garter Belt Crisis. On a sun-scorched rock. Commander Barnaby, Beetle Braddock, was a man whose blood pressure could be used to power a small industrial city. He sat in his office on the planet Zion 9, a celestial body that was essentially a giant, spinning orange of dust and regret, staring at a supply requisition form that defied the laws of military logic. "Wow," Braddock whispered, his voice trembling like a leaf in a hurricane. Wow, wow, wow. Major Silas, look at this. Garter belts. We are a Galactic Frontier Force outpost, not a boutique in the Alpha Centauri sector. Why are the med nurses requesting garter belts? Major Silas, a man with the relaxed posture of a hammock and a grin that suggested he knew where the bodies were buried and had probably sold their boots, leaned against the command console and had probably 7. Supply and demand. Commander, the nurses say the standard issue magnetic clips are chafing their uniforms during the sandstorms. Healthy? Braddock shrieked, jumping to his feet. Everything is on my shoulders. The heat, the dust, the fact that the petty officer's mess hall has a plumbing system that currently functions as a fountain of reclaimed grey water. And now this. I just received a priority transmission. Grand Marshal. Titanium. Torn is arriving today for a sneak inspection. Silas whistled. Thorn? The man who court-martialed his own shadow for not keeping pace? That's rough, Commander. Thank you for watching. We have to see the now 70s easing. Braddock's stomach let out a groan that sounded like a tectonic plate. Shifting, he fumbled for a bottle of glowing blue antacid pills. My stomach acid could melt through the hull of a dreadnought. Thorn will see the mess here. Silas, he'll see your crew, the dust rats, running around in Hawaiian print vacuum suits. And he'll have my head. Hello? Yes, this is Braddock. Who did you expect? The Queen of Andromeda. The sinks are backing up again? I'm the commanding officer, not a space plumber. Fix it yourself. Braddock slammed the communicator down and stared at Silas. A wicked, desperate light flickered in his eyes. Silas, I'm sick. I feel a cosmic virus coming on. A very contagious, very incapacitating one. Silas squinted. You look fine to me, Beetle. Maybe a bit twitchy. I am deathly ill. Braddock insisted, clutching his stomach. And as such, I must appoint an acting base commander to handle the Grand Marshal's arrival. And who better than the most decorated officer on Zion? 9. You, Silas. You and your little band of miscreants will be in charge of the entire outpost when Thorn arrives. Silas froze. Me? Commander, I'm a skiff pilot. I don't do desks. Desks have drawers where things get lost. I prefer the open dunes. Malaise. Tizase. Malaise. Malaise. I prefer the open dunes. It's an order. Braddock cackled, already imagining the disaster. If Silas was in charge, the Grand Marshal would see the chaos, blame the Major, and Braddock would be safely tucked away in the infirmary, blameless. Call the medics. I'm fading. I'm seeing the great nebula in the sky. Cadet Pipin, a man whose clumsiness was so profound it was almost a superpower, stumbled into the room, tripped over a loose floorboard, and accidentally activated the base's red alert siren. Oh, sorry, sir. I thought that was the light switch. Are you dying, sir? Should I start the funeral arrangements, or just get a mop? The medic, you ninny, Braddock roared, before collapsing onto his sofa with the dramatic flair of a silent film star. The game is afoot. Silas, the game, and the stomach cramps are afoot. Chapter 2. Acting Commander Chaos. With Commander Braddock safely quarantined in the medical wing, sipping smuggled synthetic nectar and watching the disaster unfold on a hidden monitor, Major Silas took the throne. The dust rats, a crew consisting of Goggles, the mechanic who could fix a warp drive with chewing gum, Sly, the man who could trade a handful of sand for a crate of luxury cigars, and Tink, the communications expert, who spent most of his time listening to illegal pirate radio, were thrilled. So, the skip is the big boss now? Sly asked, tossing a handful of credits into the air. The skip said, all ahead full. Tink reported, misinterpreting Silas's general exhaustion as a mandate for lawlessness. He told me to tell the boys to keep the engines hot and the spirits high. Yeza. Within an hour, Zion, 9's main hangar, had been converted into a makeshift lounge. Synthetic palm trees were erected, and a group of local desert dancers were brought in to provide cultural enrichment. Silas, meanwhile, was buried under a mountain of paperwork. "Skipper!" Pippin shouted, running into the office. The Grand Marshal's shuttle just broke the atmosphere, and the garter belts arrived, but they sent the wrong size. They're big enough to use as cargo straps. "Focus, Pippin!" Silas groaned, rubbing his temples. "If Thorne sees the dancers and the gambling, we're all going to be scrubbing fusion reactors on a prison moon. Get the girls into the emergency air raid shelter. Now." "But the shelter is full of the new shipment of luxury coolant," Goggles yelled. "I don't care. Move them." As Pippin scrambled to hide the cultural enrichment dancers, Grand Marshal Thorne stepped off his shuttle. He was a man made entirely of sharp angles and disapproval. His boots clicked on the metal ramp with the rhythm of a firing squad. "Acting Commander Silas," Thorne barked, looking around the suspiciously clean hangar. "Where is Braddock?" "Commander Braddock is indisposed, sir," Silas said, saluting with a hand that shook only slightly. "A rare case of Orion flu. I'm handling things. This is my executive officer, Cadet Pippin." Pippin saluted so hard he hit himself in the eye. "Sir, reporting for duty, sir. Would you like to see our air raid shelter? It's very populated at the moment." Thorne narrowed his eyes. "I'll see the medical wing first. I want to see just how sick Braddock really is." In the infirmary, Braddock was putting on the performance of a lifetime. He was wrapped in 3 blankets, despite the 110-degree desert heat, and was groaning in several different languages. "Marshal Thorne," Braddock wheezed as the door opened. "Well, he's a bit of a loose cannon. I hope he hasn't turned the base into a den of iniquity while I've been at death's door." Thorne looked at Silas, then back at Braddock. Silas seems remarkably composed. Suddenly, a muffled sound of rhythmic music and giggling echoed through the vents. Braddock's eyes lit up. "What is that? Music? In an air raid shelter? Silas, have you brought dancing girls onto my base?" "Dancers, sir?" Silas said, his face a mask of innocence. "I think the commander is hallucinating. That's just the harmonic resonance of the cooling fans. Harmonic resonance doesn't giggle." "Silas!" Braddock shouted, throwing off his blankets. "Thorne, you must see the shelter. It's a disgrace. I saw them with my own eyes before I collapsed." Thorne marched toward the shelter, Braddock trailing behind in his pajamas, shouting accusations. But when the heavy blast door hissed open, there were no dancers. There were only 6 dust rats, dressed in grease-stained coveralls, frantically polishing the luxury coolant canisters. "What is the meaning of this, Braddock?" Thorne asked, his voice cold enough to freeze carbon dioxide. "They were here," Braddock screamed, pointing at a stray sequin on the floor. "I saw them." "Silas, where are the girls?" "Commander," Silas said softly. Thorne sighed. "Braddock, you are clearly suffering from combat fatigue and severe hallucinations. Get back to bed. Silas, you've done an admirable job keeping this madhouse running. I'll continue my inspection tomorrow." Braddock stood in the hallway, his jaw dropping, as Silas gave him a wink. The dust rats had moved the dancers through the ventilation shafts just seconds before the marshal arrived. Braddock had been outplayed on his own board. Chapter 3. The Sovereign and the Sandskiffs. The next week brought a different kind of trouble. The Sovereign of Solaris, 4, a high-ranking diplomat from a planet made of gold and ego, was scheduled for a layover on Zion, 9. He was traveling with his 3 daughters, the Solar Princesses, and a cargo of priceless jewels. "Commander," the Sovereign announced as he stepped off his ornate, gold-plated skiff. "I am told your Major Silas is a master of the desert. I wish for him to take me on a tour of the great Dune Sea. My daughters wish to experience the thrill of the frontier." Braddock, eager to reclaim some dignity, bowed low. "Of course, Your Highness. And I shall host a grand dinner in your honor tonight. A strictly formal affair. No dust rat shenanigans." Silas took the Sovereign out on the skiff, but the diplomat proved to be a backseat pilot of the worst kind. "More speed, Major." I wish to feel the wind of the desert. Here, let me take the controls. Sir, these dunes are treacherous, Silas warned, but the Sovereign grabbed the steering yoke. The skiff lured wildly, nearly capsizing a group of nomadic traders. Wowie, wow, wow, Pippin shouted from the back, clutching a crate of jewels. We're going to be space dust. Silence, cadet, the Sovereign snapped. In my country, that is a peasant's cry. Do not debase the dignity of my daughters. Back at the base, the dinner was a disaster waiting to happen. Sly had convinced the princesses that the formal dress code for Zion 9 involved wearing traditional Desert Raider masks and capes. When they entered the dining hall, Braddock nearly choked on his wine. Your Highness, Braddock stammered. Why are your daughters dressed like nomadic bandits? They were told it was the local custom by your commander Sly, the Sovereign growled. To make matters worse, Pippin had accidentally swapped gourmet desert truffles with bark beetle biscuits, a local delicacy that tasted like burnt rubber and caused immediate, uncontrollable hiccups. As the night progressed, Silas realized the Sovereign's jewels were missing. He suspected Sly had borrowed them for a high-stakes card game in the hangar. The night became a frantic chase through the base, with Silas trying to recover the jewels, Pippin trying to stop his hiccups, and Braddock trying to explain to the Sovereign why his daughters were currently learning how to play intergalactic poker with the dust rats. Major, Braddock hissed in a corner. If those jewels aren't back in that chest in 5 minutes, I will have you all deported to the spice mines. Silas managed to swap the jewels back, just as the Sovereign opened the chest to show off his wealth. See, Commander? My treasures are safe. Your base is unusual, but your hospitality is memorable. Chapter 4. The Laughing Gas Incident. The final straw for Braddock came when he decided to convene a fitness board to finally get Cadet Pippin kicked out of the service. The boy was a walking disaster area, and Braddock was tired of replacing broken equipment. The board arrives tomorrow, Braddock told Silas, a smug grin on his face. And there is nothing you can do to save that bumbling oaf this time. Silas knew he had to act. He consulted with Tink, who had managed to liberate a canister of nitrous oxide laughing gas from the medical supply skiff. Hanashiste me, Hikenteli. The plan is simple, Silas explained to the crew. We pump the gas into Braddock's office through the vents. He gets into a jolly, forgiving mood, cancels the hearing, and Pippin stays. The next morning, as Braddock sat with the stern members of the fitness board, the gas began to hiss through the vents. Now, about Cadet Pippin's record, the lead officer began. It says here he once accidentally torpedoed a garbage scow because he thought it was a cloaked enemy vessel. Braddock started to giggle. Oh, that. Yes, it was hilarious. The potatoes. They were flying everywhere. The board members looked at each other. Commander? Serious? Braddock roared with laughter, slapping the table. Life is a joke. You're a joke. I'm a joke. Let's cancel the hearing and go get some bark beetle biscuits. Sir, the lead officer whispered. Are you feeling quite right? I feel marvelous. Silas, get in here. Give me a hug, you rogue. The plan was working perfectly until Pippin, in his infinite clumsiness, accidentally knocked over the external gas canister, causing it to spray a massive cloud of laughing gas directly into the face of the Grand Marshal, who had just arrived to oversee the board. The Grand Marshal, a man known for never having smiled in his 60 years of life, began to howl with laughter. He grabbed Braddock by the shoulders and started doing a traditional folk dance. This is the best base in the galaxy, the Marshal screamed. I love everyone. You're all promoted. Silas, you're an admiral. Pippin, you're a general. Everyone gets a garter belt. However, the gas wore off quickly, leaving the Marshal and Braddock in a state of profound embarrassment and confusion. The Marshal, realizing he had been compromised, blamed Braddock for the chemical leak and stormed off. The cadet was safe for another month. Chapter 5. Sid, the Sun Snapper. One afternoon, while Pippin was enjoying a peanut butter sandwich in his shack, a visitor arrived. It wasn't a soldier or a trader. It was a 6-foot-long, scaly, multi-legged desert creature known as a sand snapper. "Hey there, fella," Pippin said, offering a piece of his sandwich. "You look hungry. I'll call you Sid." Sid, the sand snapper, took a liking to Pippin and his peanut butter. But Sid also had a habit of eating anything shiny. While Braddock was out inspecting the perimeter, he dropped his command wallet, containing his ID card and 900 credit bills. Sid found the wallet and, thinking it was a particularly chewy snack, swallowed it whole. When Braddock realized his wallet was gone, he immediately accused the dust rats. "I know you took it, Silas. I marked those bills. I have the serial numbers." "It's grand larceny." "We didn't take it, Pito," Silas insisted. "Sid did." "Sid? Who is Sid?" "Another one of your imaginary friends. He's a sand snapper, sir," Pippin explained. "He's in my shack. He has a very refined palate." Braddock stormed into Pippin's shack and saw Sid. The creature let out a belch that smelled vaguely of synthetic leather. "You expect me to believe this monster ate my career?" Braddock shouted. "I'm convening a court-martial." Now, the trial of Cadet Pippin was the talk of Zion, 9. Braddock acted as the prosecutor, pacing back and forth with a theatrical flair. "Members of the court, the defendant claims a desert beast stole the money. I claim the defendant stole the money and invented the beast to cover his tracks." "I object," Pippin shouted. "Sid is a witness. He's just shy." "Order," the judge barked. "Commander Braddock, do you have any proof?" "I have the serial numbers. And if we find that money on any of these men, they're finished. Allah sumareala. Allah sumareala. Kamtorega." Suddenly, Silas led Sid into the courtroom. Sid, feeling a bit nauseous from the peanut butter and leather combination, let out a massive sneeze. Out flew Braddock's wallet, landing directly on the judge's desk. The judge opened the wallet. "Commander Braddock, here is your ID, and here are 900 credit bills, marked with the initials WB. It seems the cadet was telling the truth." "Wait," Sly shouted. "Look at the bills. They're marked. That means the commander was trying to trap us. He planted the wallet as bait." The courtroom erupted. Braddock turned bright red. I was merely testing the integrity of my subordinates." "Case dismissed," the judge ruled. "And Commander Braddock, I suggest you stop using the base payroll as bait for your own amusement." Chapter 6. The Great Payroll Heist. The final act of the Zion 9 comedy began when the base payroll, 62,000 credits in cold, hard cash, went missing during a transport run to the nearby mining colony. Pippin had been in charge of the bag, and he claimed he had been ambushed by a girl with a heart-shaped birthmark on her ankle. "A birthmark?" Braddock roared. "That's the oldest excuse in the book. You spent that money on gambling and bark beetle biscuits, didn't you?" "No, sir. She was beautiful, and she had a very strong right hook." Silas knew they had to find the money before the galactic audit arrived. They spent the night scouring the local desert bazaar, looking for any woman with a heart-shaped birthmark. "I found one," Goggles shouted, pointing at a merchant. "That's a tattoo of a lung." "Goggles." Silas sighed. "Keep looking." They eventually spotted a shady character carrying a heavy canvas bag through the crowded streets. It was a local thief who had used a disguised accomplice to distract Pippin. A chaotic chase ensued through the bazaar, involving flying carpets, low-tech hoverboards, exploding spice jars, and a very confused herd of desert camels. Just as they cornered the thief, Braddock appeared with a squad of MPs. "I've got you now, Silas." "Caught red-handed with the payroll." "We're catching the thief, Beetle," Silas yelled. Suddenly, a localized sandstorm kicked up. In the confusion, Pippin accidentally kicked a ceremonial cannon left over from a local festival. The cannon, which was loaded with old-fashioned black powder, went off with a deafening boom. The explosion didn't hit anyone, but it ripped open the canvas bag the thief was carrying. Thousands of credit bills rained down from the sky like emerald snow. "Look!" Pippin shouted. "Manna from heaven." "That's not manna, you idiot. That's my retirement fund." Braddock screamed, frantically trying to catch the bills in his hat. When the dust settled, the money was recovered, the thief was captured, and the dust rats were once again the heroes of Zion. 9. Much to Braddock's eternal chagrin. Well, Commander, Silas said, leaning back against the 7-3. Skiff as the sons of Zion. 9 set over the dunes. Another successful mission. The payroll is safe. Pippin is still a cadet, and the Grand Marshal left with a smile on his face. Eventually, Braddock looked at his singed eyebrows in a hand mirror and sighed. Silas, one of these days, the law of averages is going to catch up with you, and when it does, I'll be there with a front row seat and a very large bag of popcorn. Until then, Beetle. Silas grinned. Wowie, wow, wow. Don't you start, Braddock screamed, as the dust rats laughed into the desert night. Epilogue. Weeks later, a lone sand snapper named Sid was seen wandering the Great Dune Sea. He was wearing a small gold-plated Solar Princess mask and seemed to have developed a very expensive taste for leather-bound journals. Back at the base, Commander Braddock was seen at the infirmary, complaining of a new ailment, sinusitis. The doctors prescribed a simple cure: a transfer to a planet with no dust, no skiffs, and absolutely no garter belts. He's still waiting for the paperwork to clear. The Chronicles of Malaki, The Admiral's Nightmare, a comedy of errors, alligators, and high seas absurdity. Chapter 1. The Garter Belt Crisis. The sun over the island of Malarkey didn't just shine, it throbbed. It was the kind of heat that turned military discipline into a lukewarm puddle of suggestion. Captain Barnaby, the bluster Blythe, sat in his office. His face, a shade of crimson that suggested he was either about to have a stroke or launch a nuclear strike. Neither would have been surprising to his adjutant, Lieutenant Carpenter, now renamed Lieutenant Lickspittle. Garter belts. Lickspittle! Blythe screamed, slamming a requisition form onto his mahogany desk. The nurses are threatening a mutiny over hosiery support. Do you realize we are fighting a global conflict? And I am being interrogated about elasticated lace. Lickspittle cringed. Sir, the supply ship was intercepted by... Well, we think the crew traded the garter belts for a crate of pineapples. I don't care if they traded them for the Holy Grail. Blythe roared. Snap to it. Shake a leg. If the nurses aren't snapped into their stockings by sunset, it's your head on the block. Blythe slumped back, clutching his stomach. What a war. Everything is on my shoulders. I'm the commanding officer, not a haberdasher, and to top it off, the sinks at the officers' club are backing up again. I'm a captain, Lickspittle, not a plumber. Just then, the ticker tape machine sputtered to life. Lickspittle grabbed the message, his eyes widening. Sir, it's a pal of mine at Central Command. Grand Admiral Iron Gut, ironclad, is arriving today for a sneak inspection. The color drained from Blythe's face, replaced by a sickly, translucent gray. Iron Gut? Coming here? To this tropical circus? Look at this place. The crew is wearing grass skirts, the supply officer is selling bootleg coconut gin, and the sinks are overflowing with... Well, let's not discuss the sinks. My stomach acid could start a diesel engine. He began frantically swallowing pills, his eyes darting around the room like trapped flies. Then, a spark of malevolent genius flickered in his pupils. Wait. If I was sick, when I silai, I fen, really sick, I wouldn't have to face the Admiral. I could appoint an acting base commander. Lickspittle nodded slowly. And who would be the lucky sacrificial lamb, sir? Blythe's grin was predatory. Commander Capi Casanova. With that hooligan and his band of seafaring pirates in charge of Malarkey, they'll run the base into the ground in front of the Admiral. It'll be the end of Casanova's career, and I'll be tucked away in the infirmary, innocent as a babe. Chapter 2. The Coronation of a Pirate. Commander Capi Casanova was currently overseeing a very important tactical maneuver, teaching a local pirate how to whistle the Star-Spangled Banner while standing on a beer keg. His crew, Mick the Moocher, Giggles, Tank, and Stitch, were were his brothers in arms and partners in crime. When the summons came, Cappy found Captain Blythe draped over his desk, moaning like a dying whale. "Cappy," Blythe wheezed. "The medics. They don't know what it is. Tropical melancholy? Advanced indigestion? I'm in bad shape. I need a leader. I'm appointing you acting base commander." Cappy blinked. "Me, sir? I'm a saltwater skipper. I don't do desks. I don't even like chairs with more than 3 legs." "I won't hear of it," Blythe gasped, winking at Lickspittle. "And to assist you, I'm appointing your bumbling ensign, Percy Puddle, as the acting executive officer." Percy Puddle, a man whose primary contribution to the war effort was accidentally torpedoing an empty garbage scow, beamed with pride. "Oh boy, did you hear that, Skipper? I'm an executive. I'm going to need a bigger hat." "Get out," Blythe screamed, suddenly regaining his voice. "Take command. This minute. Bikarkala, ketala, bikala si." This minute, as Cappy and Poodle exited, Cappy leaned in. "Percy, I smell something fishier than a tuna cannery in July. Blythe is up to something. Blythe is up to something." But the chaos had already begun. The moment Cappy sat in the big chair, the phone started screaming. The chief petty officer wanted to know about the sinks. The supply sergeant found a crate of garter belts that looked suspiciously like slingshots, and the local construction battalion had accidentally built a mess hall in the middle of a live-fire rifle range. "Full speed ahead," Cappy shouted into 3 different phones. "If the sinks are plugged, use the garter belts as filters. If the mess hall is on the rifle range, tell the cooks to keep their heads down. Action. We need action." Within hours, the island of Malarkey had transformed from a military outpost into a chaotic tropical carnival. Cappy's crew had opened a hula casing club in the bomb shelter, and the air was thick with the smell of roasting pig and illicit pineapple wine. Chapter 3. The Maharaja and the Spice Sisters. The madness peaked with the arrival of the Maharaja of Marsipan and his 3 daughters, known to the crew as the Spice Sisters. They were seeking refuge from a nearby naval skirmish. "Greetings, Your Highness," Cappy said, bowing with a flourish that nearly sent his hat into the ocean. "I am Acting Base Commander Casanova. Welcome to Malarkey. We offer you the finest hospitality, assuming you don't mind the occasional stray bullet from the mess hall." The Maharaja, a man of immense dignity and even more immense luggage, frowned. "Is it true that your men are to be trusted with my priceless cargo and my daughters? In my country, a man who looks at a princess without permission is fed to the sacred crocodiles." Percy Puddle chimed in. "We don't have crocodiles, sir, but we have a very aggressive alligator named Barnaby Jr. He's quite the conversationalist." The Spice Sisters, Princess Ginger, Princess Chili, and Princess Saffron were bored. They wanted excitement, and they found it in the form of Mick the Moocher, who had convinced Princess Ginger that he was actually a lieutenant commander on a top-secret mission involving underwater karate. "Oh, Lester," Ginger cooed. Mick had told her his name was Lester. "A lieutenant commander. You must be so brave." "I've got 3 medals for bravery," Mick lied smoothly, "and 1 for being the best-looking man in Brooklyn. It's a burden, really." The trouble started when the Maharaja insisted on steering Cappy's PT boat. The resulting voyage involved 3 near collisions with coral reefs and the accidental destruction of Captain Blythe's private pier. Meanwhile, back at the base, Captain Blythe was watching through binoculars from his hospital window. "Look at them," he cackled to Lickspittle. "They've got princesses dancing in the laundry, a Maharaja driving a torpedo boat, and Iron Gut Ironclad's plane has just touched down." Chapter 4. The Laughing Gas Maneuver. The arrival of Grand Admiral Iron Gut Ironclad was like a cold front hitting a hurricane. He was a man who ate discipline for breakfast and shot court-martials. "Casanova!" Ironclad barked, stepping off his jeep. "What is that smell? Is that roasted pork? And why is your executive officer wearing a lei and holding a pineapple?" Percy Puddle saluted, accidentally hitting himself in the eye with his own thumb. "Welcome ashore." Sir, we're just maintaining morale. It's a native custom. Captain Blythe, seeing his moment, sprinted from the infirmary in a seaman's uniform, screaming at the top of his lungs. Admiral! Admiral! Don't listen to them! They are hiding hula girls in the bomb shelter. There are garter belts everywhere. It's an orgy of incompetence. But Cappy was faster. He had staged a fire drill that involved moving the princesses, the Maharaja, and the illicit gin into the base laundry. By the time Ironclad reached the bomb shelter, it was empty, save for a very confused-looking parrot. Blythe was livid. He tried to have Percy Puddle court-martialed on the spot. I'm calling a fitness board. This man is a menace. He torpedoed a garbage scow. He thinks garter belts are slingshots. Cappy knew he had to act. He remembered the base dentist had just received a fresh shipment of nitrous oxide laughing gas. Men, Cappy whispered to his crew, we need to get Blythe into a happy mood. Mick, Giggles, get that tank of gas and hook it up to the captain's office window. The plan was a masterpiece of slapstick engineering. As Blythe sat at his desk, preparing his list of charges against Puddle, the crew pumped the gas through the louvers. Suddenly, Blythe's stern face began to twitch. A giggle escaped his lips. Then a chortle. Then a full-blown, belly-shaking roar of laughter. Lick spittle. Blythe howled, tears streaming down his face. Did you see Puddle's hat? It's too big. He looks like a mushroom. And the Maharaja. He drives like a blind elephant. Ha ha ha. When Iron Gut Ironclad walked in to begin the hearing, he found the base commander rolling on the floor, clutching a bouquet of goldenrod. Binghamton, Ironclad roared. What is the meaning of this? Wally Winky, Blythe chirped, pinching the Admiral's cheek. You have such lovely ears. The Admiral turned to Cappy, horrified. Commander, what is wrong with this man? Cappy sighed theatrically. Combat fatigue, sir. The strain of the garter belt crisis. He's been hallucinating bunnies for weeks. It's tragic, really. Chapter 5, Barnaby Jr. and the $62,000 snack. The final act of the Malarkey drama involved the base payroll. $62,000 in small, unmarked bills had arrived. And Blythe, now recovered from the gas, but twice as vengeful, decided to set a trap. I'll leave the payroll in a canvas bag near the racetrack, Blythe whispered to Lick Spittle. Casanova's thieves won't be able to resist. We'll mark the bills, and when they swipe them, bam, permanent residence in the brig. But he hadn't accounted for Barnaby Jr., the island's 600-pound alligator with a penchant for peanut butter and anything that smelled like canvas. Percy Puddle was walking near the lagoon, mourning his lost career, when he saw the alligator emerge from the bushes with a canvas bag in its mouth. Hey, Barnaby, drop that, Puddle shouted. The alligator just winked and retreated into the swamp. When Blythe discovered the bag was gone, he went into a frenzy. Theft, grand larceny. Casanova, you and your pirates have stolen the base payroll. I have your ID card. I found it near the lagoon. I have your ID card. You Mexter Corson. I didn't steal it, sir, Cappy argued. The alligator ate it. Ask Puddle. An alligator? Blythe screamed. A payroll-eating alligator? Do you think the Navy is a circus? I'm holding a court-martial right now. The trial was held in the base mess hall. Blythe acted as the prosecutor, judge, and jury. I intend to prove, Blythe shouted, that this deceitful ball of incompetence, Percy Puddle, stole the money and invented a reptilian accomplice. I object, Puddle cried. You can't call Barnaby Jr. an accomplice. He's a victim of circumstances. He just likes the taste of government-issued canvas. Just then, Cappy and Mick burst into the room, dragging a very large, very annoyed alligator on a leash made of, you guessed it, garter belts. Here's your witness, sir, Cappy shouted. The room erupted into chaos. Lick Spittle screamed and climbed onto the Admiral's shoulders. Blythe turned white. Open his mouth, Mick, Cappy ordered. Mick held out a peanut butter sandwich. Barnaby Jr. lunged, his jaws snapping open, and out tumbled a soggy, canvas-wrapped bundle. Admiral Ironclad picked it up, shaking off the alligator slime. He opened the bag. Inside was $62,000 and one of Captain Blythe's marked ID cards. "Binghamton," the Admiral said, his voice like grinding stones. "You marked these bills yourself? You set a trap for your own officers, using the base payroll, and you let an alligator swallow it? You marked..." Aye, Blythe stammered. "It was for the good of the service, to catch these pirates." "Enough," Ironclad barked. "Commander Casanova, you have shown remarkable initiative in recovering these funds from a predatory reptile. Ensign Puddle, your bravery in the face of a 600-pound witness is, well, it's something. As for you, Binghamton, I think a long, quiet rest in a ward with no bunnies is in order." Epilogue. The sun set over Malarkey. A week later, the island of Malarkey had returned to its normal state of functional anarchy. Mick the Moocher was still writing letters to Princess Ginger, promising to rescue her from the clutches of Admiral Brooklyn. Percy Puddle was practicing his salutes with both hands, just to be safe. Capi Casanova sat on the deck of the PT-73, watching the sun dip below the horizon. He took a sip of a very cold, very unofficial drink, and looked at the garter belt hanging from the radio antenna, a souvenir of the Great Crisis. "You know, boys," Cappy mused, "it's a crazy war. But as long as we've got peanut butter, a fast boat, and a captain who thinks he's a bunny, I think we'll do just fine." From the distance, the muffled sound of Captain Blythe screaming at a palm tree drifted over the water. Cappy just smiled. It was just another day in paradise. The Sovereigns of Isla del Sol, a comedy of errors, anchors, and alligators. Chapter 1. The Garter Belt Crisis. Isla del Sol was a tropical paradise that the god of war had seemingly forgotten to invite to the actual conflict. Nestled in a turquoise corner of the Pacific, the outpost was less of a strategic stronghold and more of a sanctuary for the militarily eccentric. At the center of this sun-drenched chaos was Commodore Barnaby Iron Stomach Bluster, a man whose blood pressure was roughly equivalent to the steam pressure of an aging destroyer. Barnaby sat in his office, clutching a supply manifest as if it were a declaration of national surrender. "Garter belts!" he screamed, the sound echoing off the corrugated tin roof. "Percy! Get in here!" Lieutenant Percy Panic Pringle, a man whose uniform always seemed 3 sizes too large for his nervous frame, stumbled into the room. "Yes, Commodore? Is it the Japanese? A submarine? A giant squid?" "Worse," Bluster growled, shaking the paper. "The nurses. They need garter belts. And you, Pringle, are the chief logistics officer. If the medical staff needs structural support for their hosiery, you snap to it. You shake a leg. Well, don't shake yours. Obviously find some for them." Blaster slumped back, massaging his temples. "What a war. The weight of the world is on my shoulders, and I'm being harassed by elastic bands." "Sir," Pringle whispered, checking over his shoulder, "I just got a message from the relay station. Grand Admiral Thunderclap Grimshaw is arriving today." A sneak inspection. Bluster's face went from a vibrant beet red to a sickly parchment white. "Thunderclap Grimshaw? The man who court-martialed his own grandmother for having a messy kitchen? He's coming here? Look at this place, Pringle. The sinks in the officers' club are backing up. The grass is 3 feet high. And my supply officer is preoccupied with undergarments." The phone rang. Bluster snatched it up. "Hello, this is Commodore Bluster. Who did you expect? The Queen of Sheba? The sinks? Go tell the pipes to obey regulations." He slammed the phone down and clutched his stomach. "My acid could start a tank. Pringle, I need a way out. If I'm sick truly, medically incapacitated, I can appoint an acting base commander. He'll have to deal with Grimshaw. If the base looks like a circus, it'll be his head on the block, not mine." A sinister smile crept across Bluster's face. "And I know just the man. Someone so charmingly incompetent, so naturally chaotic, that Grimshaw will have him executed by sunset." "You don't mean..." Pringle started. "Commander Lucky Jack's Maverick." Bluster hissed. the saltwater skipper of the Star Jumper 77. Him and his band of merry pirates. I'll make Jack's Maverick, the acting Commodore. He'll destroy himself right in front of the Admiral. It's brilliant. Chapter 2, The Happiness of Illness. Barnaby Blaster's performance as a dying man was worthy of a Broadway stage. If that stage were located in a hospital ward for the melodramatic, he lay in bed, groaning with such vigor that the orderlies were concerned he might actually burst a blood vessel. Oh, the agony! Bluster wailed as Commander Jack's Maverick entered the room. Jack's was the antithesis of naval discipline. His cap was tilted at a jaunty angle. His shirt was unbuttoned just enough to be questionable, and he smelled faintly of coconut rum and sea salt. "Hey, Commodore," Jack said, leaning against the bedpost. "Heard you were feeling a bit under the weather. Is it the fish? I told you not to eat the local pufferfish without a license. Maverick. It's a mystery ailment," Bluster wheezed. "The medics are baffled. My heart, my liver, my very soul is fatigued. I need to appoint an acting Commodore while I await the end." "Well, Lieutenant Stitch is a good man," Jack suggested. "He knows the rule book by heart." No, Bluster gasped. "Stitch is a boob. A complete boob. Jax, I'm appointing you. And Pringle here will be your acting executive officer. Take my office. Take my authority. Take the Admiral. Take the responsibility." Jax blinked. "Me? In an office? Commodore, I'm a boatman. Put me behind the desk and I'll start using the drawers to store bait. It's an order. Maverick. Out. Get to my office." As Jax and a terrified Percy Pringle exited, Bluster sat up and chuckled. "He's a dead man walking, Pringle. Go keep an eye on them. Make sure they screw up everything." Back at the administrative headquarters, Jax was finding the transition to leadership difficult. The phones were ringing incessantly. "Yeah?" "Maverick here," Jax said into the receiver. "The garter belts?" "Yeah, we found them." "Stitch. Get those over to the nurses' quarters." "What? The sinks are still plugged?" "Tell the petty officers to use the bushes. It's the tropics." Percy Pringle was frantically juggling 3 other lines. "Yes, sir. The construction crew? You built the new mess hall in the middle of the rifle range? Well, tell the cooks to keep their heads down. It's good practice for the front lines." Suddenly, the door burst open. It was Golly, Jax's most enterprising crewman. "Skip, the boys want to throw a little shindig tonight. We got some local refreshments, and the hula troop is ready." "Great!" Jax yelled over the chaos. "Is that a base commander, or is that a base commander?" Golly cheered, sprinting out to organize what was rapidly becoming a Roman orgy disguised as a naval function. Chapter 3, The Sultan and the Side Saddle. Before the Admiral could even arrive, a new crisis appeared on the horizon literally. A signal came in from a nearby island. The Sultan of Marami, a vital ally with a penchant for luxury and a very short temper, was being evacuated due to enemy movement. He was arriving at Isla del Sol with his 3 daughters, the princesses. "A sultan?" Jax asked, rubbing his eyes. "Does he need garter belts too?" "He needs respect, sir," Pringle cried. "And if we offend him, the State Department will have us for breakfast." The Sultan arrived on the Star Jumper 77 after a rescue mission. He was a majestic man in flowing robes, flanked by 3 stunning women in veils. "I am Karim," the Sultan announced, "and these are my most valuable possessions." "Are these men to be trusted?" "Absolutely, Your Highness," Jax said, bowing. "Welcome to Isla del Sol. I'm Jack's Maverick, and this is my, executive panic, Percy Pringle." "Wowie, wow, wow," Golly whispered from the background, staring at the princesses. "I heard that," the Sultan roared. "In my country, we do not wowie the royal bloodline." "He didn't mean it, sir," Jax intervened. "In our country, wowie is a traditional greeting of high esteem, like a ceremonial chicken dance." The Sultan looked skeptical, but allowed himself to be led to the guest quarters. However, the peace didn't last. The Sultan, fascinated by the PT boat, insisted on a driving lesson. Jacques, wanting to keep the peace, let the royal guest take the wheel. "Just steer, Your Highness," Jacques said nervously. "It's very relaxing." The Sultan slammed the throttles forward. The Star Jumper, 77, lurched, nearly throwing Pringle into the wake. The boat zigzagged across the harbor, narrowly missing a supply barge and crashing through a line of laundry drying on the shore. "Exhilarating," the Sultan shouted. "I shall buy 10 of these." Meanwhile, Commodore Blaster, watching from his sickbed window, was seething. "He's entertaining sultans. He's having boat races. Pringle, we need to move to phase 2, the Jinx." Chapter 4. The Ghost of Boat 13. Bluster's new plan was psychological warfare. He fabricated a top-secret file and ensured Jack's Maverick accidentally found it. "Sir," Pringle cried, running into Jax's office. "Look at this. The Star Jumper, 77. It's not the 77. The file says it was originally the Ghost Jumper 13. It says, the first 3 crews all vanished in the middle of the night. Spontaneous combustion, hauntings. The boat is a floating Jonah." Jax laughed. "Percy, you're losing it. There's no such thing as a jinxed boat." But that night, the Mavericks, Jax's crew, decided to use the Commodore's own tactics against him. They knew Bluster was planning to use the Jinx to scare them into requesting a transfer to a dangerous combat zone. As Bluster crept around the docks at midnight, hoping to plant spooky evidence, the crew was ready. Golly had rigged speakers in the hull. Stitch had a bucket of phosphorescent paint. "Barnaby, Barnaby Bluster." A mournful voice echoed across the water. Bluster froze. "Who's there? Maverick? Is that you?" Suddenly, the engines of the Star Jumper 77 started by themselves. The fog lights flickered on, casting an eerie, green glow. A figure in a tattered, glowing uniform, Golly with the paint, floated across the deck, thanks to a very thin wire. "We are the ghosts of the 13, Golly wailed. "We come for the man who sent us to our doom. Give us the papers, Barnaby. Give us the transfers," Bluster screamed, tripping over a mooring line. "I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. I'll cancel the transfers. Just don't take me to the locker." He scrambled back to his office, his dignity left somewhere at the bottom of the harbor. Jax watched from the shadows, grinning. "See, Percy? No such thing as ghosts. Just very motivated sailors." Chapter 5. The Laughing Gas Maneuver. The peace was short-lived. Grand Admiral Grimshaw finally arrived, and he was even more terrifying than advertised. He wore a scowl that could stop a clock and carried a swagger stick like a weapon of mass destruction. "Commodore Bluster." Grimshaw barked, ignoring Barnaby's phoning. "I hear this base is a den of iniquity. I hear there are sultans driving boats and ghosts haunting the docks. And I hear your executive officer, Percy Pringle, is a menace to navigation. Sir, I have requested a fitness board hearing for Pringle immediately," Bluster shouted, seizing the opportunity to throw someone under the bus. "He's incompetent. He's a goofball." Jax knew he had to save Pringle. Without Percy, the paperwork for the crew's extracurricular activities would never be hidden properly. The Mavericks came up with a desperate plan. The base dentist had just received a fresh shipment of nitrous oxide laughing gas. During the fitness board hearing, Golly and the boys snuck behind the administration building. They pumped the gas through the ventilation system into the hearing room. Inside, Admiral Grimshaw was mid-sentence. "Lieutenant Pringle, your record is a disgrace. On July 16th, you torpedoed a garbage scow." Suddenly, Jack's Maverick started to giggle. Pringle joined in. I have a goldenrod allergy." He. Admiral Grimshaw's scowl began to twitch. He fought it, his face turning purple. Then, a small pff escaped his lips. "Potato peels? Ha. That's actually quite funny." Within minutes, the entire room was in hysterics. Commodore Bluster was rolling on the floor, pointing at the Admiral. You have iron pants. Ha ha ha, iron pants. And you. Jax leaned back, breathing in the sweet air of success. Best hearing I've ever been to. Chapter 6. The Alligator Witness. Just when it seemed the Mavericks were in the clear, the $62,000 base payroll went missing. Percy Pringle had been tasked with picking it up from the paymaster in town, but he returned empty-handed, looking like he'd been dragged through a swamp.